And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the It's Wrestling Podcast, with all things talks, all things that's WWE, AEW, a little bit, of all wrestling in between, with some news, reports, all that good stuff. But before we get into episode number 49, if you guys are new, make sure to hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to ring that notification bell so you guys will not miss our faces every time we go live, or you see my face. I was dropping videos and or shorts. That being said, let's kind of get right into the first topic on hand. Shout out to Earl. I actually brought this to the group, our group's attention, with NXT bringing it back. No Mercy for the month of for the. For
I saw a post on. I kind of like glanced over a post. I didn't know what it was. It showed like a picture of Sean holding like a thing, like a piece of paper, and it said "No Mercy" on it with the logo and everything. Yeah. I didn't know what that was, and then I heard Earl obviously told me too, and Earl, disclosed that information, and I'm like, oh shit, like dude, they're bringing back. But here's the thing: they're bringing back all these old pay-per-views that were on the main roster, and they're demoting them to NXT. The Great American Bash used to be a main roster pay-per-view. Now it's an NXT pay-per-view. Then you have No Mercy. The last time it was on the main roster, it was like what, 2019, 2018?
2018, 2019, somewhere around there.
And now it's demoted to NXT. Like come on.
Then again,
I get you have too many pay-per-views on the main roster. I get that, but why are you putting these well-known names on NXT?
I mean, quite honestly,
why are they NXT pay-per-views? Why can't you put when we asked for the Great American Bash to come back, we wanted it on the main roster. We didn't want it NXT. We wanted it on the main roster.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When we wanted No Mercy back, you did the right thing. You brought it back in 2019 on the main roster. That was fine. And now you demoted it to NXT. You demoted both to NXT.
Honestly, and there's just some pay-per-views on the main roster. I do think that needs to be, NXT related. And I think Fastlane. I think they should just switch Fastlane from a main roster to NXT, because I mean, at times, NXT is a bit of sometimes can be fast-paced at times. So
here's the problem with that. The reason why they are doing Fastlane again is because they took away TLC.
Even though that was kind of stupid.
Not really, because they're saying no more gimmick reviews. But then again, they still kept telling us so. But here's the thing. You could have given us, but that's the reason why Fastlane is still a thing. It's the fact that, that's why Fastlane was brought back, is the fact that TLC is no longer the pay-per-view. And yes, you could say, but it's a December pay-per-view. I get that. But they need another pay-per-view to fill out that pay-per-view slot. And, keep that amount of pay-per-views.
Actually, Tyler, let me correct you on that. The last time the main roster ever used No Mercy was 2016 and 2017.
I thought they brought it back 2019. 2018, 2019.
They brought it back 2016. That's the article says they brought it back in 16 and 17.
That's a false article, because I distinctly remember them bringing it back in 2019, and everybody shattered brick about it. Like in 2019, I remember it was 2019.
I mean, this is coming from WrestlingNews.co. I mean that pay-per-view thing has been around since it has been used from 99 to 2008 before they cut the damn thing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure they brought it back in 2019 for it was like a one-off year. They brought it back, and then they got rid of it again.
I also think there's another one. I think they're bringing back. I think what did they bring it? What did they just brought Payback back? I know they haven't really done that one in a while.
They brought back Payback. They haven't done Payback, I think, since 2016.
I was about to say somewhere like 2016 or 2017, one of
Yeah,
those years.
it was around that time. That was the pay per view that I'm thinking. Okay, they didn't bring that back until they didn't even bring that back at all. They did it in
I guess it
2016,
must be a typo.
2017. It was 2016, 2017, and then they just completely just axed it, and now they're bringing it back. I think it's again they don't have enough pay per view. They kind of cut pay per views that weren't really popular. Because I remember one time they tried to have like a test review called Stomping Grounds. It didn't work.
Boy, did that too.
That was a complete dud of a show.
Even though that was a bad idea to begin with, and it was bad enough. And I think
it wasn't a bad idea to begin with. The problem is that the match quality and the match card was so weak that they had no choice but to axe it the same year.
Yeah, after that one
day pay per view, it took one day pay per view for Stomping Grounds to get cut because they did not book it well. It would have been good if they booked it well, and they didn't. And honestly, I'm honestly pretty glad that they cut that pay per view after that 1 year. And also, guess what? Also didn't return. The one with the bad name. Great Balls of Goddamn Fire.
Thank God that would. Because if I remember correctly, what was that was supposed to replace?
I think it was the one that replaced No Mercy, and everyone got pissed about it.
Yo, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's 2018. Everyone got pissed about it, and also everyone got pissed. And everyone got pissed about it because they were teasing like a flame logo, and everybody was thinking, "Oh, Armageddon's back." Turns out it was a pay per view with a stupid name. They literally took a song title and made it a pay per view name. How stupid can you be?
That's WWE sometimes in the nutshell. They just can't be creative.
Bro, I mean, that showed their lack of creativity that year. For sure.
It's bad enough. You also had, I mean, look at the different nostalgia pay-per-views, like we said, No Mercy, Armageddon, Judgment Day. What else am I missing that we have not seen in the last 20
we had Armageddon, Judgment Day. I mean the Bash is back, but on NXT. No Mercy's back, but it's on NXT. What else?
I mean, we have Bad Blood a little bit.
Yeah, Bad Blood was only used for like a few years.
New Year's Revolution. I still miss a lot.
I know. Mom.
You're saying you know, but you don't even know what I just said.
I'm in the middle of it. Okay. I'll gossip about it later, Mom. Over in here trying to gossip. I'll be right back.
But yeah, so that means, yep. So what's good? Yeah, I mean, boy, does anybody actually want to figure out of that as well? That match was only okay from what I've seen. But what's good, Steve? What's good further? What up, Greg and John? But yeah, it's like, kind of missing some of these other pay-per-views. Like I said, Bad Blood, Armageddon, Judgment Day, New Year's Revolution. I think everybody, sometimes I feel like that's been kind of been forgotten for the last handful of years. I mean, and stuff like that. What's going on, JJ? What up, Raphael? But yeah, it's been a lot of crazy stuff, I would say. Obviously, sometimes we don't really, and especially with NXT as of recently. But yeah, it's been, God. Okay, so if you're really going to bring up another nostalgia pay-per-view, you want to put it on the main roster, because I don't think the main roster has a December pay-per-view, do they? I could be wrong.
They used, like I said, that the December pay-per-view used to be TLC.
I mean, if you want to do
and
that,
then they took that away. Because pissed off and they're getting fed up with gimmick reviews. And not having the matches that entailed that gimmick review. They did the same shit with I think
I
I
think
don't even
Extreme
think they
Rules is
even
kinda
did a. I don't even think they even did an Extreme Rules this year.
I think last year they did, but
Last
this
year
year
they
not.
did, but this year they didn't.
I'd
Yeah,
say
I don't
if you
know
want
if
to
it's.
add it, if you want to
I
add
don't
it
know if
this,
it's. Hold on, I don't even know if it's later in the year, but they. I think they replaced the December pay per view with Extreme Rules.
I think so. Then again, like extreme boy. I think that's another pay per view. I think that I could probably see getting axed because that's another pay per view that hasn't really been that lives up to the name itself of Extreme Rules. When we have just like basic bullshit like the last like the last 3 to 4 years under the Extreme Rules pay per view name. Uh, but I will say, if you decide to add a pay per view in December, bring back New Year's Revolution for Christ's sakes. I actually really liked New Year's Revolution.
Bro, that was dude.
I'm
They
sorry.
tried. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry about this, dude. I'm sorry about this. But they tried to bring that shit back, but they changed the name of the shit, and it was stupid.
Oh, that's right. Was it New Year's
Hardy
Eve or something?
horror. Let's call it day one.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
You could have just called it New Year's Revolution, and everybody would have cared.
Exactly.
But you call it day one.
Oh shit! And shout out to Raphael. That's another one I completely forgot. St. Valentine's Day. That's the.
I think they did that one time.
Once and
Back in '99. Back in '99, they did that one time. It was a special pay per view because of pay per view. They realized that a Sunday, because the way the trajectory was going and shit, with the way the company was booking like the schedule and stuff, and the way the storylines were going, that Sunday would be a pay per view day. So that was only a one time deal. TLC, John L. Exactly. They oh shit, they did. Or no, SummerSlam's always in August.
It's always
SummerSlam's always there. They didn't replace Extreme Rules with that.
A few years when they actually had SummerSlam in late August to early September.
They always had it in late August. They never had it in September. They always had it in August.
What was the one pay-per-view I'm thinking of that was in September for some reason? I'm thinking of.
It was. I think it was.
That is a very.
It was SummerSlam.
Just brought up.
It was SummerSlam, and then I think that was the one that was Payback for a bit.
And actually, Payback actually had some pretty. I
think it was SummerSlam then Payback.
Real quick.
Hold on.
Just smell this.
Ooh, that's nice.
You like that smell?
Yeah, that's nice.
Tyler likes it.
Sorry, they're doing they're doing this cologne thing where they test, like they're doing like the little smell thingy test wherever the hell, and I'm like, I've been like their guinea pig there. Oh, smell that, smell that, smell that. but yeah, that's the case. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice thing. But and before the COVID, and Rob said, and before the COVID-19 pandemic, the name was replaced by like a house show with the same concept. Actually, before COVID happened, right? They brought back a WCW pay-per-view. But it was for a goddamn house show.
Hang on. I'm trying to think. Because he had Great American Bash, that was a WCW and /WWE.
Yeah, but that was brought back for NXT, and that was also a W pay-per-view for like 04 to like. It was Starrcade. It was Starrcade. They brought that shit back, but it was a goddamn house show, and everybody was pissed about it. Even me.
Right. You talk about another classic main roster pay-per-view that turned to NXT pay-per-view in your house.
That was fun. That was fun. I didn't mind that. I did not mind that.
If you're an old wrestling fan, that would kind of bring back some nostalgia years.
And guess what?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Extreme Rules.
But Extreme Rules was August, but also SummerSlam was in August, so it didn't really replace it.
I think Extreme Rules is usually in October. I think it is.
Extreme Rules got moved to October, so it really wasn't replaced. It was moved because they were thinking, oh no, having two pay-per-views in August, that's too convoluted. That's too much.
Not much to do. That's too much. Like, and you got to think too, like how much, not say stress that puts on you, but you got to think too.
It's stressing the wrestlers because you're over here traveling. You're doing you have to wrestle like a great ass pay-per-view match, and you have to try your hardest at the pay-per-view, and then you're working Raw and SmackDown and these like house shows for like 3 weeks, and you're working another pay-per-view. That's too much. So that's why they got rid of it. They didn't really replace it. They just moved it, and then they just axed it. I think. I don't know. But we're later. I think. Yeah, but we're not even in October yet, so they probably still have it. They always have so much either in early August or late August before September. Wasn't that Night of Champions? I think it was. I think it was SummerSlam, the Night of Champions, and Payback. I think. And then it was TLC.
And since they axed TLC, because actually I think it was because I think this year they had TLC for hang on. What was the
this year? No, they axed TLC last year. They axed.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Because I know they kind of changed it up a little bit with SummerSlam now in August. You had Money in the Bank. I think they had. Oh, that's right. They had hang on.
Yeah, it was Payback because that's when that triple threat match happened. Yeah, I remember that. The last Night of Champions was in September, was in 2015, so it hasn't really been in September since then. And plus,
I know they had Night of Champions earlier.
They just did Night of Champions in June.
Yeah, because usually that's always a September.
That was in June. That used to be a September pay-per-view, but that was in June of this year. They moved it back. But yeah, the whole SummerSlam thing, that was always in August. Even when we were kids, it was in August. I think one time it was in July. One time.
I think I don't know exactly what the reason was. That was the only time that was in July.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I think one time it was in July. I think it was like in 2003. I'm not sure. It may have been always in August. I'm not sure. But
I mean, think of the Super Bowl. We might have to check after the show is on Peacock just to double check.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check. SummerSlam, see if it moved or anything.
You know what?
From when we were kids to when we're like now, it's always been in August. From
on this one. If you're talking about you want to,
dude, every single gimmick pay-per-view needs to go. They need.
I'll say this too: the Elimination Chamber hasn't been what it once was. From what
they made it kid friendly. And it sucked. You literally put the floor mats where the grates are, and it is dumb. My back hurts because I hit the mat. What?
Come on, man,
dude.
But regardless,
back in the day, it was way better because you had the grates and they hurt, bro. They hurt.
Oh, trust me, you had some. Think about it too. You had, if you talk about some memorable Elimination Chamber matches, you had Triple H finish the match with a broken Adam's apple. I don't think everybody remembers.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, John L. In the PG era, from 2008 to 2016, they still had the greats, even though they were catering to kids. They always did that. But the thing is, 2016 or 2017, they just randomly did it out of nowhere. Oh, it's safer for people. They're safe for the kids. They had the greats before. They had the greats in PG era. They had the greats, so I can't really say it's for the kids. It's not.
But yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, the Elimination Chamber over the years, from what I remember, some easily memorable moments when RVD off the top of the pod, he had no goddamn room whatsoever. Tried to do a 5-star frogs match.
Bro, he had no room for failure. He had to hit that move.
Unfortunately, that's the same. I think that's the same match where Triple H actually had his Adam's apple busted, and he actually literally finished the match with a broken neck or a busted Adam's apple, which made it hard to breathe.
Yeah, but this is becoming really respect more. Honestly, I mean, they made some boneheaded decisions, so it was really. I didn't really expect anything different, but it's got to go. The match has to go. The event has to go. You made it too kid friendly. I know you're a PG company. I get that, but you had the greats before. You made a boneheaded decision, and it's WWE, and I have to agree with John L here. You can't really expect anything less.
No, you really can't.
You really can't. You really can't.
Shit, if you looked at the last like a couple years ago, like how some about the bad Extreme Rules pay-per-view was, it's like, where's the extreme?
Dude, you had an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. You only have one Extreme Rules match. That was the main event. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Like, where's the extreme?
And that's why, and that's exactly why, Rob, I want every single gimmick pay-per-view gone. Yeah, if you're not going to live up to the gimmick, man. Get rid of the pay-per-view. Get rid of it. And the only one that they've really, done well with was Hell in a Cell. That's it.
Yeah, and actually, I think they axed that as well, if I remember correctly, too.
No, they didn't. They didn't. That was a lie. That was a false report by beat writers. Because remember, they did it. Make there to be R-rated. I wouldn't say it's R-rated. I would think it's PG-13, very, very close to R.
You know what?
Honestly, no. If they're gonna do the PG shit with the match, axe that. Axe the match.
Just axe it.
Yeah, don't do the match if you're gonna do PG shit to it.
It's
if you're gonna keep the match, give us the greats again. Don't get the match shit.
So John L. brought his own unpopular opinion that the Hell Cell needs to go, but he doesn't feel like they don't do it anymore.
Honestly, I think the pay-per-view needs to go because
it's unnecessary.
It's too gimmicky now. It's way too gimmicky. And because it makes it seem like every single feud that leads up to Hell in a Cell needs that cell match. Here's what made Hell in a Cell so cool back in the day. They gave that match to blood feuds.
Not just
feuds that mattered. The feuds that called for it got it. And now it's like, this title match, it needs the Hell in a Cell. This title, not every title match needs one.
No.
The only one I felt like that needed that match was Bianca and Bayley. That's it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was it, because that felt like a blood feud. That felt like that feud that needed it. But the other matches,
I guess you could say they make the same argument with when Edge and Finn Balor, during
that too. That needed it. You know what else needed it too? You know what else needed it? Because they beat the living holy shit out of each other. Becky and Sasha.
Oh wow! You know what?
When they beat the holy hell out of each other, bro, in that cell, that needed it.
And I'll say this too, not just with blood feuds, but you also have some wrestlers that, and I think the most memorable but most infamous Hell in a Cell match was between The Undertaker and Randy Orton. Everybody remembers that. That was Randy Orton's
infamous. That was a crazy ass match. That was a crazy ass match. But and another match that I really think that called for it was Batista and Triple H for the world title in 2005.
Oh, that needed
that.
Oh, for sure. But regardless, though, like I said, some of these gimmicky pay-per-views, like we said, I'm tired on this one. They do have to go with TLC. I'll say this too. I think TLC hasn't really been as good as it once was, from what I remember. From like the Attitude Era, when like you still have Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the
thing is, back in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, and into the mid 2000s and late 2000s, prior to the PG era, those matches were edgy. You had edgy ass moments. You don't get that because you're too PG for it. But the thing is, you really don't need to be. You don't need to be PG for it, or you don't really need to be. You don't need to be edgy with it. You don't need to be.
Yeah,
because I really, to be honest, I'm gonna disagree with you here. I like the TLC matches, even though they're PG now, and you don't really get the blood. Like, I'm fine with that. You're catering to kids. Just give me a good ass match. That's fine.
If you just put on a good match,
let me see. And you can still have bodies hit the ladder, and you can have people go through tables, and the ladder breaks in half, and it's still cool looking. And it's still devastating as hell to see. So I'm going to disagree with that, because even though you're PG, I don't mind it. It still looks devastating. It still looks painful. I don't care. I don't care for it. I don't care for it being PG. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you do. We agree to a disagree. For me, to it's an extent, from what, like I said, from what I remember. But if you could put on a good match, without the, edgy stuff, I'm all for it. But like we said, if you can't execute it properly, just get rid of it. I mean,
you're not like you really dropped the ball with this new look of the Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, you dropped the ball.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't been, I mean, if you looked at
ever since 2017 when you made the great, you covered the greats with mats. You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But
don't get me wrong though. I mean, they did have some good matches. Even
they did. I'm not saying the matches weren't good. But the problem is, the outside moves are less devastating now, and it kills the match for me. It kills the matches for me. Elimination Chamber is supposed to be the most devastating structure in WWE.
I mean, shit. If you go look, if you watch the WWE throughout the early to mid 2000s, they said it was the most devastating structure ever to be built in the history of the WWE.
Anybody heard the rumor Undertaker Brock Lesnar when Undertaker had the cast on that and beat Brock? I don't believe that. I do not believe that at all. Because I feel like there's a mutual respect between Undertaker and Brock. I do not believe that. Not one bit.
And the thing is, too, what I've always liked about the Undertaker, not from his gimmick perspective, but his role as a
that meant, I have to agree with Steve here. Ravishing Rick Rude, great character. Great
character. Something else back in the day,
bro. Fucking porn stash, and he was fucking gyrating in the ring.
Literally, like whoever will wear his own face on his own ring gear, like
bro.
Hey,
that was one cocky motherfucker.
I mean, just the dude.
You wear your own face on your ring gear. Like what?
He really had that heel charisma. I mean, he was.
Man, he was great, man. He was great. I look back at that, man. He's great. I wasn't even alive during the era, and I think
that was like the late 80s.
That was like mid 90s. That was like late 80s and 90s and shit.
I don't
like it was like right to, and then like. I mean, yeah, he was around towards the end of like his WWE run when I was like alive. I was born 98.
I think before
he had already went to WCW when I was born.
And boy, he was not the same ever since.
He was not the same. He was not the same.
He looked like a fucking lawyer gimmick. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, they gave him a shit.
I will flat out admit, for someone who's watched both WWF and WCW, yes, I know. I watched the death of WCW.
Yeah. I'm sad you had to see that. Yeah, I'm sad that you had to sit there and watch that shit, bro.
Not just that, you want to make the trifecta, or let my dumbass sit through 2006 ECW. What the fuck was I thinking at the time?
Bro,
why?
Dude, I swear, and I don't know why my brainwashed ass watched every week.
Why was that even a thing?
Why as a kid why did I subject myself to that torture as a kid?
I mean, shit, yeah, Kelly acting as a stripper each and every week as ECW starts.
You had dude. Within like the first minute of the damn thing, you had a freaking zombie come out.
That's like, what?
I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Like, it was like, I will say this for those who have not seen it, and God bless you, for they have not really lived through it, unlike me, ours poor saps had to experience that. Each and every week.
Here's the thing. We subjected ourselves to that freaking torture by just being kids and wrestling fans.
That's true as well.
When you're a kid and you're a wrestling fan, you want to watch everything wrestling, bad or good. And the thing is, every single week we subjected ourselves to that torture as kids. And I look back at, dude, I think I watched an episode very, very recently on Peacock. And I'm like, and it was episode 1. When that zombie thing happened, click.
Unfortunately for me, I was the opposite, because that was the only time when I actually sat through.
No, I'm talking about when I rewatched it on Peacock. Not back in the day. Back in the day, I was stupid enough and I watched the damn thing. It was wrestling. Wrestling. I mean, I was watching wrestling.
But at the time as a kid, I didn't really think much of it.
That's me too. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. You had Sandman come out and beat the zombie.
And you had Bobby Lashley back in 06, and he has not changed ever since then. It still looks like he's still the same.
Not going to lie, that honestly was actually pretty funny. That strip poker episode. That was actually, looking back at it, that strip poker episode was actually pretty damn funny.
I think it must have been Maria. They actually portrayed her as being dumber than a sack of potatoes.
From 2004 to 2007 or 8, she was so ditzy.
What, Balls Mahoney?
No, Maria.
Oh yeah, she just didn't know where she was.
He was ditzy. I'm like, dude, that's just great. The commitment of being
not just from Maria. You also had the late Ashley Massaro, which that still fucking sucks. Really.
Bro, when she died, I was fucking heartbroken. I'm like, yo, she was one of my friggin' favorites growing up.
Her and Daphne were my top 1 and 2 in terms of, at the time.
Dude, when Daphne died, you were distraught. I'm like, shit.
I was like, fuck, man. Well, actually, what hit me, and I will have to admit, in terms of the not just from the wrestler / manager type of deaths in WWE, the one hit me the hardest was Scott Hall. I actually got to see
Scott Hall. Yeah, dude, when Scott Hall died, dude, you balled.
I had to step away.
Yeah, you had to step away with that because you were a huge fan. But with me, the two deaths, the two wrestling. Oh shit, my light just flipped. You see that?
I saw that.
What the fuck? I got ghosts in this house? Goddamn. Okay. Anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway, the two deaths that really, really got me when it comes to wrestling deaths. Shad Gaspard and Ashley Massaro.
Oh shit, absolutely.
The two deaths that really and this is recently. Back in the day it was Eddie and Benoit before I heard what Benoit did and I lost respect.
Yeah. And obviously, kudos for WWE for
acting everything for action that nah, we don't deal with murderers. We're done.
And especially blacklisting them and for
but it was Eddie for me. It was Eddie, Benoit, and then recently it was Gaspard and Massaro. Those, and I'm like, man, more of my childhood is just dying. I'm like, shit.
From Massaro, boy, both actually, if you think about it, I don't think it's coincidence, but I do think, this kind of goes hand in hand with her and Daphne. Both had mental health problems.
Yeah, and that stems from when WWE screwed her the fuck over because she was getting SA'd by one of the officials.
Yeah, I forgot about
it. And WWE did nothing about it. And that pissed me off. I'm like, you caused this. And there was a time, I think there was. And of course, WWE very stupidly pulled me back in after a while. But after Ashley Massaro died and it came out why she was going through what she was going through, I stopped watching WWE for a little bit.
And it's just I
could not stomach watching WWE after what I heard. And then of course I very stupidly got put back in shit. But yeah, it was those deaths, man. It was damn.
Honestly, I think what death really hit the hardest around WWE was Eddie. Think about we're reaching
Eddie, bro. He was finally getting his shit together too. That's what hurts about it. He was finally getting his shit together.
And then all of a
sudden, he stopped doing the drugs. He was happy. He had just came off of a WWE Championship run. He was entertaining the hell out of fans.
Face or heel,
and then he just died.
Was still loved.
Huh? Yeah, oh my god, he was so loved. He was loved.
And that's the thing. The crazy part is too. I think a lot of people tend to forget. Yeah, even though he died from heart failure, what led up to that was his usage of steroids. This was still at the time when wrestlers were still doing steroids. And
the thing is, he had that one slip up 9 days before he died, and then it cost him. He slipped up one time, and he died. I'm like, shit.
I mean, you could watch videos of just especially from Ray's perspective, but boy, if you're talking about someone that's mentally broken, that is right.
Honestly, I'm on the fence with that, Damien. I mean,
one argument, yeah, because
there is an argument there because of the whole thing with
like
how Benoit met his wife, and there's like animosity between him and Sullivan and all that shit.
and another argument can be made too if they should have banned chair shots a lot sooner.
Yeah, and I also can see why people and he had like I think he had like a brain of like an Alzheimer's patient or dementia patient.
His brain was so fucked up.
He just went crazy. He just went crazy. But the thing is, I kind of see both sides here. So I don't know what's true, what's not true. So I kind of see both sides, so I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I really don't know. We don't know the full picture of. Yeah, we don't know the full picture of what happened. So it could go either way. I don't know.
It's a really hard discussion. I know it's very hard.
Very hard discussion. Man, John L, I know how you feel because that was the same way with me with Shad and the circumstances of how he died. I thought about, man, he really died saving his son. Holy shit.
And he was only young. He was like 34 or 35.
Yeah, and then I was the same with Ashley Massaro. I'm like, damn, she has a daughter.
She was about in her late 20s, if I have to say.
She was in her 30s. She was in her 30s.
She didn't look like she was in her 30s, though. I will have to flat out admit that.
She looked younger. Yeah, she looked young. But yeah, that was the same way with me and Ashley Massaro. I'm like, damn, she has a daughter. Like, what the fuck?
But going back to Eddie, though, and this is a lot of times, too, like, people really tend to forget, after Eddie passed away, that's when the WWE actually started their wellness policy. Once you fuck that up. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, they started doing the wellness policy thing then, but then they really started cracking down after Chris died. Like 2 years later, they really cracked down by 2007.
Yeah. And it's like, there's
Bray Wyatt. What do you mean Bray Wyatt's coming for me?
About the light flickering.
Man, I'm cutting my head off.
Speaking of Bray Wyatt, though, even though I do.
Hey, Bray Wyatt, I'm a big fan. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me, bro.
I've seen actually one interview. Boy, I think this is when he still had. This is when I think it was before when he was out of that. No, when we still had the Eater of Worlds. But he actually did an interview one time. I think I saw a clip going around, and he talked about the fact that he lost so many people in a span of weeks. It's like, boy, I can imagine.
When he said that in a promo, like when he returned, I'm like, shit.
Like the dude was
he went through some shit, bro.
Like for me, hey, shit. Another one that hit me hardest was Brody Lee. It's like, what the fuck?
That was sudden. Dude, it was like he was on his like great run in AEW. Next thing you know, he's out with an injury, and the next thing you know, he's dead. Like, what the hell?
And we come to find out, his wife actually made that announcement. It's like, son of a bitch. And I'm thinking to myself, man, Brody Jr., jeez. I could not have felt bad for his son.
Yeah, and it hits different when it's the wrestlers you grew up watching. Like when it really does. It hit me hard when Eddie died. It hit me hard when Shad died. It really hit me hard when Shad died, and it really hit me hard when Ashley Massaro died because I grew up watching them.
You know what, Steve? I do agree with you. Owen Hart was a tough pill to swallow that was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's the hardest pill to swallow because you're thinking, yeah, this is WWE's fault. They shouldn't have done what they did, and also, you shouldn't have continued with the show. I mean, if you watch that show back and you watch like post him being dead, and when they post him all in that stretcher, him in the ambulance, him dying.
That's just
and the ring is cleared. They didn't clean the ring. His blood was still on the mat.
I know that as crazy as it sounds, WWE right now has killed two family men, but he had two family men in professional wrestling already died. He had Brody Lee.
Did WWE know about the time Eddie was doing steroids?
Very good question. I don't think.
No. The last time when he slipped up for the very last time, they didn't know until after he had died. Because they did the autopsy and it was found that he had anabolic steroids in his system.
Yeah,
and it caused his heart to,
to be fucked
do what
up.
it did. He fucked up one time. He slipped up one time and he died. So they didn't find out until after the fact. But they knew about the first instance of the drug issues. They fired him. He got his life in check. He went to rehab. He got his life in check. Came back. And then he had that run. And then he slipped up that one time and died. So they didn't know about the latest one until like right after he died. And I'm like, ooh.
So for those who are wondering, so November 13th, 2023, Eddie Guerrero would have been 58 on November, would at least be in pushing 60 if he didn't have that drug problem, which is crazy to believe. It's been almost 20 years without Eddie Guerrero. What the fuck?
We're 2 years shy of his death anniversary.
Right now, 18 years. This will
18 years since he died. 18 years since he died, and it's still, being felt.
It doesn't feel real since then. It really doesn't.
Like even then, I'm like, no, this can't be true. And that was the same thing with Shaq Gaspard and Ashley Massaro. It's like, no, it can't be true. You're lying.
And then
you're lying. And it came out, it was true. What the fuck, man? And it's the same thing with Chris. Like, you're lying. This cannot be true.
And even though, yes, I know Chris Benoit is a controversial thing to really talk about. And then at times, like we said before, it's because we're kind of on the fence with it, because now you can make the argument from both sides of the fence.
Yeah, that conspiracy theory, though, is like very, very valid. So I don't know. Like, he started off as a B-list opponent who lost every match. Yeah. He did. He was a joke. He was a joke in the beginning there.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it.
The only time when he started getting a push is when he did that shit with China.
Yeah. But
he really started to grow after that. Like, he really started.
If I remember correctly, that's when he brought up the moniker of Latino Eat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he brought up that moniker and he got over with that. He got over with that for sure. And then
he actually really was another guy that actually can really adapt too. Like, he went from Latino Heat for how long? I know he ran with that for a while before he went with he ran
with that. Yeah, he ran with that until 2002, and then when he moved to SmackDown in 2002, he was the lie, cheat, still guy.
And
with his nephew, and then they were like having those vignettes of like at parties and him stealing something from a fucking baby at one point.
I was like, what?
Like, what the hell?
And the one thing I always enjoyed about it, the dude came out in fucking style. Let's just call it for what it is. The dude came out in a fucking who outside of.
So did WWE know some of these superstars were doing steroids back in the day? Yeah. They're still doing drugs. Don't be fooled. Yeah, most of them. Yeah, they do take drugs still. But the thing is,
I mean,
WWE cracks down on it. And
speaking of which, that too, when you look back, and not just from Eddie, you had Ray. If he didn't get clean, he could have taken his life.
Ray, yeah, dude, Ray. I think it was like 05. I think it was like 06, 07.
I think, yeah, he got
hurt pretty bad. He busted up his back or something.
And
he was taking painkillers for it, but he started to get addicted to it.
And his wife was not having it.
He just kept going. He just kept going and going and going. It wasn't because he was depressed or anything. He just got too dependent on the drugs.
And hey, Kurt Angle was the same way. If I think
Kurt Angle man was just taking Percocets.
Okay, so for those who have not seen Kurt Angle, if you watch him from his time in WWE to Impact, there is a noticeable difference in Kurt Angle.
His eyes went from normal to wide as hell.
Dilated. It's the dude
dilated as hell. He was jacked up and shit.
And I think he also come out and say, yeah, I mean, I think he also got addicted as well. I think he was still dealing with the pain, some issues in it. I think I think people tend to forget too. He wrestled with a broken freaking neck in the 1996.
He had a broken neck. He broke his tailbone in a match. He broke his neck again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he broke his ass. Yes, he broke his ass. So he broke his neck. He broke his ass. He broke his neck again.
Oh, I forgot he actually broke his neck the second time.
2003. It was late. It was 2003. because he came back in the summer of 03 as a face, and then he turned heel later that year. And then he kayfabe broke his leg. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. And then he had a few other injuries too. I forgot what the other injuries were.
He was getting beat up left and right.
Yeah, so he was taking Percocets for the pain. To rely on it.
And also the craziest too though. You know, especially with Dominic too. We all knew like how, and especially
yes, they are. Dom, they are, dude. They are.
Damien
or Damien, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, they are cracking down on it. You have a lot of these wrestlers getting 30-day, and then they did, and it's either you have 2 30-day, you have 1 30-day, and then you have 2 30 days, and then that third strike, you're fired.
It was pretty much a 3-strike policy.
It's a 3-strike policy, and they've cracked down on it. They've cracked down on it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think also Triple H actually got rid of that 3-strike policy and actually changed it. So I'm thinking to myself, it's like, why change?
And then again, nowadays in the Triple H regime, it's like, oh, you have eliminate strikes. Yes, nowadays they're kind of more lenient on it, which they shouldn't be. But early when they did that, when they first did the whole thing, up until very recently,
like say if you fuck up 3 times, like, you're out.
3 times you're fired. It's either it's 1 time, okay, we'll bring you back. 2 times, fuck your push. You ain't getting a push anymore. And 3rd time you're fired.
And it's not just that too, and you also got, boy, I remember stories from even Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Anderson actually told some stories where he actually, spilled the beans on he name dropped some wrestlers were doing steroids, and boy, his
that was right after Chris died, because they were talking about Chris. Did he take steroids? And then Mr. Kennedy goes, we all took steroids.
And for those who have not seen it, dude, that was on live fucking television.
That was on CNN, bro.
What the fuck?
I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, he was like, we all took. He scoffed at it. He scoffed at the question. Went, we all take steroids.
It's like, oh, that was terrible.
I look back at it. I'm like, dude, you just fucked up your own career. What are you doing? And then that's when they started to crack down, because they revealed, because Mr. Kennedy very stupidly revealed there was a whole steroid ring going on. You had
even though his career has been the same, but you have to at least give him some credit. It brought the steroid bullet stuff to light. Because think about it, if he didn't say it, like, who knows how long this is.
But I will say this. Even though it was very stupid at the time, because he killed his WWE career at that time. I mean, then again, he didn't, because he didn't get fired till 09. Because the real reason why he got fired was because he really injured somebody, and he was like, no, and Randy Orton was vying him to get fired because he was too dangerous, which I kind of get why he got fired. Because he was too dangerous at the time.
And Steve, that's a very good point. And I think a perfect example for someone who's doing steroids, look at Triple H from the Attitude Era, obviously up to the Ruthless Aggression Era. You can look at his body.
No, it is not because of the damn media. It's not. It is not because of the damn media. It's because of what happened. What happened to these wrestlers when they do drugs? They die young. They said enough of that. We're not losing any more competitors.
Look at Test. He died at 35. Eddie Guerrero, he died at 38. You had
no, Damien. It's not because of the media. It is not because of that.
And to piggyback of what Steve said, I remember Triple H from the Attitude Era, obviously up to 02. The dude was still big, and then once the Ruthless Aggression Era hit, like you could see when he got off the roids, like he was small. He was still jacked, but I
get that, and I get you don't get that big taking steroids. Yeah, I get that. I get that in some cases,
I
but
don't think Shawn Michaels
mostly,
ever did steroids. So that's a very good question. I don't think he
no,
ever
he did.
did.
He did in the
He
90s.
did.
In the
I never.
90s,
I even when I look.
he had a very well known drug problem in the 90s, and then in 2000 he became a devout Christian and quit all that shit.
And boy, did he change his life from ever since then.
He completely changed his life in 2002 to now. Completely changed life.
And the thing is,
Because
too, I think people.
he became a
not,
devout Christian and completely quit drugs. Completely.
I think
Cold turkey, he was
my,
done.
I think too, with a lot of people don't remember Shawn Michaels in the '90s. Like he was a complete fucking asshole. Like I would say Batista is. I would say he's taken a little bit of roids. I don't think.
I don't know. Like,
and I might. This might pass to some Rock fans. I think Rock might be on the roids a little bit. I'm sorry, you don't look as big as the Rock is.
Definitely nowadays, Rock is on the roids for sure. Because I don't remember something. Back in the day, he was not that big. He was not that huge.
He was just
now he's mammoth size, and yeah, he's like, taking.
Yeah,
but the thing is taking steroids when you're not doing activity like working athletically like in wrestling or in sports, then it's okay. It's fine. Guys only doing movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's absolutely taking freaking pills and doing all this shit. Like,
I think he's more from my understanding. I think he might be on HGH, human growth hormone.
Could be HGH. Could just be HGH.
And in sports, that shit is banned in every single sport. But that's we're gonna move on from that. But to answer John L's question, I do think Batista was living on the roids when you looked at him.
Yeah, he was slightly on the roids. He was slightly on the roids, and you could tell because I think.
Was I trying to think when he got?
But that was back in the day where they weren't really heavy on we're gonna fire you, and I will admit after the 2007 thing, they weren't fully committed to the thing until right after Batista left, 2010.
No fucking way.
What happened?
This can't be Shawn Michaels' real fucking name, is it? Michael Shawn Hickenbottom? What?
What? Remember, dude, we talked about this before. Yeah, it was. It's his name. But
I'm done. Who has a last name Hickenbottom? That's what I'm wondering.
I feel like that man's now just Shawn Michaels. He changed his last name because he found it to be too embarrassing. So just call me Shawn Michaels. I'm not that last name anymore because that's too embarrassing.
That Heartbreak Kid, the dude, man, that dude ran. That was one of his best. And he also, he has some of his funny moments. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he does have a nice sense of humor side.
Bro, the funniest segment that I still remember was when Triple H and Shawn were just mimicking the damn McMahon family. And Shawn's like, I'm dancing, man, I'm dancing.
Stop it! It's like
he flopped.
Or think of this too, not just that, where he just when Shawn Michaels went on a super kick rampage, gave Sweet Chin Music to stand. For those who don't know, and I know Triple H.
You have to tell me I'm not controversial. He's going down.
And you can see Triple H trying not to break character because that shit's kind of funny. And also another one.
He broke character. He freaking chuckled.
I think Triple H broke character twice, if I remember correctly. I remember the last time he broke character was with The Rock when The Rock was out there. Oh, and The Rock is the one thing you would never be. The undisputed world champion. So shut up, bitch. Even though that was not supposed to happen, he chuckled at it. It's like
he was like, "Oh, you got me there, man. You got me there." He had that look of you got me there, bro.
Another funny moment from Shawn Michaels is when he was actually, cooking in the kitchen. And it's like he was quote unquote.
Bro, Shawn Michaels, dude, yeah. Was that the one where Shawn Michaels super kicked the kid?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's where he super kicked the kid.
I think he was so quote unquote down on his
because the kid was like a mini Karen.
Yeah, I forgot
And
about
he was
that.
like, I'm done with this. Bam, right in the face. I was like, damn. You see, and you don't even see the kid get kicked. You just see the food flying.
Oh yeah, like the burgers are for fly, like everything was flying. But
No, I think it was sloppy Joe because it was like a splatter
I say not
on
the
the
sloppy
wall.
Joe way. Let's be honest. I could go for a sloppy Joe sandwich right about now, but that's gonna be another.
All
But
right, I'm sorry for making you. This is the big Kahuna question, and I probably know the answer. But did
yeah,
Vince
no,
ever
Vince
take the
was
steroids?
on steroids.
Oh, that's
That's
a
that's
given answer. He did this
that's
shit.
not a natural body. There's no
That ain't no
fucking way.
natural, dude. His shit's sagging now. That's wearing
Like you,
off.
yeah, like that's like people.
That shit's sagging now, bro.
If you looked at it, watch the cartoons, like when characters were off steroids, they get soft.
Yep.
And it's basically what it is. And it's also kind of funny too how I think besides Paul Heyman, who's a good storyteller, when he does like tell stories about some of the stuff he's seen, like fan stuff like that. And same with Edge too. I think is another great storyteller. And the fact
No,
it's still
I
funny
remember. I remember one time. I remember one thing that he said before. It was like his 1990, and I think he could be a comedian because of this shit, right? The way Edge delivers the stories he tells. I remember one time, he did a thing where he was talking about his debut.
Oh yeah,
And he was saying how he felt, and I'm thinking he's probably gonna say he feels bad. He probably think it sucked. No, you know what this man said? This man went out and flat out said with a straight face. I don't know how he fucking did it, but he's like, you know how I felt when I broke that guy's neck in '98, my debut, and the guy goes, what? He goes, I felt like a bag of prison ass. I go, what?
I'll be fucking cracking up. It's like, how do you say?
He literally says, I felt like a bag of prison ass. Like, what?
I mean, my favorite story from him is that infamous Royal Rumble when both John Cena and Batista went over. And boy, I knew he was like,
bro. He was like, I don't want help. I don't need help. And he walks backstage with two fucking broken quads.
I'm thinking to myself, like, how's that even possible? I'm thinking to myself, like, how is that even possible? Because when it's
how did you even manage to stand up?
Especially in walk without assistance with two torn quads to your fucking limbo.
What the hell did you do that?
And the fact, and that's another thing too. I didn't realize, and that's what he also said when we don't remember that he was a third last competitor. I do not remember ever seeing him in that part. I
do because remember this was when in early 05 is when they really started to look at him as a main eventer. They were starting to look at him as a main eventer.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
No, it was early 05. They started to look at him as a main eventer because he was cutting good promos. His heel work was money. Everything was money about that. And he was the third last guy, but they weren't ready to pull the trigger on him winning the Rumble yet. So they made him the third last guy. Let him last a while to that final three. And he had gotten eliminated by I think it was John Cena that eliminated him.
Yeah.
And that was carried over into 06 when their feud started.
Well, that's probably the best rivalry that I've seen in quite some time.
Bro, that has some crazy ass.
I would say Ruthless Aggression John Cena was just he lived up to it. Ruthless.
Bro, he was ruthless.
Well, mostly from Lita because Lita got the short end of the stick.
Bro, he flat out called her. He flat out said what he said to her.
Oh yeah, the fact that he even made some football.
He went out. He was like rapping and he was like solely dissing everybody else. He gets to Lita. He goes, "Lita's a slut." I go, "What the fuck?"
And not just that too, but he also made references to like that, like different terminology. Like he made like some football terms. God, what
he was? But here's the thing: he was making analogies for everybody else, but just flat out dissed Lita.
Exactly, or what she was.
I was like, "Yeah."
Damn. Or the fact he said this to Booker T. Congratulations, Booker. You officially lost your status as a black man. I was like, and then here comes Ron Simmons and he says, damn. I was like,
I do. That was another thing that I like from the Ruthless Aggression and the PG era because he still does this shit too when he makes his appearance to reunion shows. is like when the most messed up shit happens, or when someone messes up or whatever, he just
John
walks
Cena will
into
find a way to
frame.
exploit it.
He just walks up into frame with the most it looked like a father being disappointed at his son or daughter, and he's like, and then it's just dead silence for like a minute, and then he goes, "Damn."
And that's the thing too of what I've also liked about Ron Simmons, but you know, boy, I remember some interesting moments where, yeesh, I would say when the Hardy Boys were backstage, I was like, boy, what my
Dude, the funniest one was when it was like Matt and Jeff, and they were checking out Candice Michelle.
That's what I'm saying. That was what I'm talking about.
No, I knew we were getting that. And then Jeff walked away. I think Jeff had a match, so he walked away. Yeah, and then Ron Simmons comes in, looks Candice up and down, like literally up and down.
That's like,
and goes, "Damn." Funny shit.
Or the fact that, the fact that he said "damn" when Kelly said "this is the biggest balls I have ever held." It's like,
no, that was really funny.
Why?
Because it was like, what she did when she said it was already questionable. But what made it funny is Ron Simmons comes in with that disappointed father look, and looks at her and goes, "Damn."
It's just like the Ruthless Aggression had its moments. I will have to admit that the Ruthless Aggression era did had its moments. Well, yeah, not minus.
No, this wasn't. This was not. I think this was 07 or 08, early 08 when this shit happened with the whole balls thing. And he just walks up and
got a really big smile on her face when she said that. It's like why?
And she's fully committed to what she said too. That's the bad part. I'm like, what the hell?
I gotta give her credit for being fully committed, but
here's the thing. I give her, dude. That's how you tell a dirty joke. Kelly, we're proud of you for that. That's how you tell a dirty joke.
It's just like
you gotta be committed to this shit.
And she did. I know as much as she wasn't really that good in the ring, but she
early on she was green as freaking goose poo poo. All right.
And
she was green. She was green, bro. And then over time she did get a bit better,
But she looked
really good. When she came back for that Rumble, for someone who wasn't even in the ring since
she showed out.
She was flying around. She was hitting. I think
she's more like 33 or 34, but she looks still fantastic.
Bro. She's and congratulations to her. She's becoming a mom.
Too. I never knew that.
She's pregnant.
I never fucking knew that. That's news to me.
She's gonna be a mom, man.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm getting. And another thing too, when
I found out she was pregnant, I'm like, thanks, Kelly. You just really aged me. I feel old now.
But and another thing, some fairly interesting stories I've heard, especially from Paul Heyman, where he actually talked to Vince. It's like where Vince did not give two shits of what Paul Heyman had to say. And,
he was like. Yeah, he was scared. He was scared. Like, you sure you want me to cut a promo on you?
Money.
And he goes. What do you want me to say exactly? And he goes, say whatever draws me money. Like, all right. And he freaking ripped into him.
If I remember correctly, that was 06 Smack.
No, this was 01. This was 01.
Oh wow, I was way.
This was 01. When he because he was ripping him like, oh, you killed WC, you killed ECW, you killed WCW.
Boy, he went on a fucking tirade.
He was like, remember that time in '97 when you were trying to help me out? Yeah, you really helped me out there, because as soon as things were going good for my company, you backed out. And what happened? I went bankrupt.
And not to mention, like, all the ideas that we brought to you, those were my ideas.
Those were my ideas. You stole them, and everything he said was valid. I know he was supposed to be a heel there, but everything he said was valid. Everything.
Yeah. And I think another time where I think he. I think it was. I don't believe he even told a story. Hit that let's for his best promo work on 2006 One Night Stand. Let's be real.
The only reason why you didn't want to come to SmackDown is because you didn't want to work Tuesday.
It's like everybody hides your wives. It's Edge. I was like, oh.
I'm like, oh no, we know what's coming here. Oh no, and then he rips into him.
Boy, the ECW crowd was ruthless.
Dude, they were red hot when he was roasting the shit out of Raw and SmackDown.
And the fact that it's like, I got 2 words for you, Matt freaking Hardy. I'm thinking to myself, that's 3 words, you idiot.
I was like, but no, the freaking in that promo wasn't really part of the 2-word thing.
And
so,
also, and I will say this too. And
I think the freaking part was just for effect.
I guess so, and I think also too
because as soon as he said it, Edge's smile just faded, and he went wide-eyed. I'm like, no way.
I think you threw at the ruthless aggression area and up that time. I think if I have to pick one wrestler who had some question moments, in terms of promo work or promo wise, I say Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle has some poor choice of words. It's like,
I'm a man. He's like, I'm a boy. I'm a man in a boy, or you're a boy in a man's world, and I love to play with boys. He goes, wait.
Whoa. Pump the brakes there. It's like,
that's not what I meant. And then he said something else that's questionable.
I think it was also one night stand. He said, I don't know what the crowd was chanting. And he said, your mother teach me to swallow. It's like, Kurt, that's the poor choice of words. That's
like, bro, you need to stop cutting promos. You just did the most questionable.
Like I said, the ruthless aggression era had some of its memorable moments and some of its questionable moments in terms of either even look at the ring work, character wise, promo work. I mean, it was just I would say the ruthless aggression had a mix. It was like a box of chocolates. You don't know which week you're gonna, like, depending on the week, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Bro,
either get.
But here's the thing, though. Yeah, you didn't know what was gonna happen every week. But I feel like every single week from 03 to about maybe 06. 06 was getting a little bit tamer.
Yeah.
And 07 was a bit tamer too.
You could tell in the product.
Yeah, there's like a transitional period by 06, 07. But from like 03 to like 05, 06.
It was just a wild, wild west.
Basically. Or late 06. It was like late 06 I'm talking about. Because 06, and that was also a crazy fucking year.
But yeah, absolutely it was.
From like 02 to 06, you didn't know what the hell was gonna happen. I remember one time, it was like an 04. There was a tag match. It was Ray and Big Show, Eddie Guerrero, I think it was Eddie Guerrero, Big Show, and then it was Kurt Angle, and I forgot who else.
I think it might have been
JBL. It was JBL. It was JBL because Eddie and JBL were in that program, which was racist as shit, by the way. From the JBL side,
it was a good one though. Even though, yes, it was.
It was a really good one. But the tag match, back to the tag match, right? Normal tag match, everything's going great, and then we see Kurt Angle go outside the ring. There's a big ass case.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that case. Yeah.
It was a freaking tranquilizer gun. He shot Big Show with it.
I was like, if you, like we said, if you have not watched WWE, like I said, from like the late 90s till I would say late 06, there was some cool, like I said, there was a lot of variety and stuff.
Let's stop the nostalgia train with it and keep going with the news. I want to talk about, and John O asked a question.
The KO.
I want to talk about the Kevin Owens injury.
I think it might be a shoulder problem.
I forgot what it was. I think they said it was like arm or back. I forgot what it was. Can you look that up for me?
Yeah,
because
I'm guessing the shoulder. And
I don't want to no guesses. Just let's make it accurate. the accurate statement here. Because we could speculate all day, but
And
we don't know.
and also Liv Morgan was also hurt as well at the same time.
Yeah, Liv Morgan was also hurt. That's what, but hers is more of an arm injury. But I feel like that was scripted. That's a scripted injury.
So right now I looked up. Right now they didn't say what the injury is, but even though SRS, we need to have our thoughts on him, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But he did say on Twitter that beats me, but Kevin Owens is injured. Several wrestlers stayed on TV through injuries. I don't know if he will or not, or even when he'll miss in-ring time. So we don't know.
And Jose, this is we're not going to talk about that tonight, but we'll see what happens. Deadline's not over yet. Anyway, but yeah, we don't know the injury at all. We can speculate all day.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. So these did say Owens had a fractured rib that he was working through for a while.
See, it's not even close to the arm, bro. It's like right at the rib. Yeah, he's got a fractured rib. And trust me, you don't want to be working through that. You do not.
That's going to make it hard to breathe.
Make it hard to breathe. You're not going to be okay. So he's going to be out for quite a while.
But they don't know if he's going to miss any in ring time. So that remains to be seen.
And yes, you could say, but wrestlers work through cracked ribs before. Yeah, kayfabe wise, yeah.
Kayfabe. When you literally have a broken rib.
When you literally have a break in your rib, they don't work. They do not work at all. But yeah, he's got a cracked rib. That's going to take quite some time to heal up. But yeah, we wish Kevin Owens good health. Hope he gets better. What do they do with the tag team? They're going to just drop them from the Judgment Day?
That's been the biggest.
That's been the biggest speculation,
And that's a very good question too. Like, what are you going to do with it? Because right now their tag team run, their title run as of recently hasn't really been the greatest. I would say it's just been flat out boring.
Honestly, it's been okay. They're trying to insert comedy to it, and it's been pretty funny. It's been pretty entertaining. So I'm okay with their title reign. But right now, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. As of right now, I don't know if they stripped him of the titles. But the thing is, it depends on how long he's going to be out.
And it's not just if he's going to be out for more than 30 days.
You strip him of the title. That's when they strip him of the title. If a person's going to be out more than 30 days, if they can't defend the belt for 30 days, they're stripped of the title.
And absolutely,
that's usually the rule. If they're not physically able to defend that belt in 30 days, they can't. And I know it's hypocritical because of the whole part-time schedules with Roman and Brock. Like, that's a different story, but with injuries,
for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons, like an injury, if you can't really perform,
I think for 30 days, the dude also beat leukemia twice.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Though, if you can't work through an injury for 30 days, the rule is they have to strip him of the title.
Yeah,
that's why they did it to guys like Finn, guys like who else?
Even though it was just very unfortunate, and he just never really got the chance.
Guys like, and unfortunately, Roman was hit with that too, because he was out for more than 30 days with the leukemia thing.
But he voluntarily, relinquished it.
But he voluntarily relinquished it because he knew he was going to be out for more than 30 days.
So I said,
the chemo treatments and everything.
But I mean, it was. Hey, look, that was the smart call on him. It's like just relinquish it now, and then come back stronger.
And plus, he wasn't going to not let the fans know that he had this.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Like, he's not going to sit there and try and work through, leukemia and him losing. him losing like weight because cancer you do lose weight a bit.
Yeah, and leukemia is it's a blood cancer. I think
It's a
for
blood
those who
cancer,
don't,
so you lose weight. You lose weight.
yeah, that's scary.
So it probably would have been scaring fans if he didn't let anybody know, like, oh shit, what's going on with Roman?
Yeah,
He's lost weight. He looks sickly. What's going on with him?
And like I said, smart call on him to really
very
relinquish it, and then
yeah, and also
step
very
away.
smart call by him and WWE to get him on this part-time schedule where he doesn't work constantly.
Because I mean, who knows if it might come back again? Like you never know. So that's the thing. That's the scary part, though.
Yeah, and it came back twice. It came back when he was doing football, and it came back again when he was wrestling. It happens.
And he kicked his ass twice.
He freaking speared that son bitch twice. He Superman punched that son bitch twice.
And that's why, like I said,
he was the first victim to the leukemia was the first victim to that trouble. Chief boy.
Yeah, sir.
Let's go.
And speaking of which, this has been interesting that the WWE's been teasing. A split between Dominic and Rhea.
Yeah. There's been a rumor going around that Dominic and Rhea. Why? Why is everybody attacking Shotzi for cutting her hair for her sister?
I have no freaking clue.
For me, you know what I thought when she did that, and it revealed that she was doing that for her. Dude, you know what I thought? Do you know what I thought?
And
I thought I'm thinking, why is she cutting her hair? What's the purpose of this? When it was initially happening, and then after the show, it came out. She's like, "I love you, sister." And then I saw the report. And then I saw the report that her sister had cancer. I'm like, what she did on national TV, that was a freaking noble ass thing to do.
And the fact she actually showed up to, I think it was an indie event with her with short green hair.
And she went to an indie event with short green hair, and then she also, I think she cried after a match, and Charlotte went up and gave her a hug.
Even though I know how much we.
As a wrestler, we don't like her as a wrestler. As a person, I'm sure she's a nice person. I'm sure she's a good person.
Yeah, because sometimes it's kind of hard to tell the person playing behind the character. I mean, shit. Look at perfect example. Look at Brock Lesnar. As intimidating as he is, but the dude is just anxious as a next motherfucker. And the fact like I can relate that to a little. Because I can relate to Brock a little.
I can definitely relate to Brock because when Brock's around people, like he has a social battery. There's people out there that have social batteries, and what that means is they can talk to people, but then after a while they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't they're drained. Socially, they're drained. It happens to people. It happens, with me sometimes. I'm like most of the time I'm in my room by myself because I want to be by myself most of the time. And that's okay. And even my family said that's okay. Because they were telling me you've been like that for years, even when you were a kid. And they're like, it's okay. That's fine.
And that's why
I do go out and talk from time to time, and I'm sure Brock does too. He had the time of his life with Pat McAfee on the show.
If he didn't he told him not to break the dice. What do you do?
Don't break the table, and Brock immediately goes.
And they both they pretty much get like
dude. Intrusive thought said break the table, and he broke the table.
And it's like. And the thing is too, and also I think Brock also said it too. Like what also helps him like therapeutically is actually work on a farm. Like it helps him clear his head. Then again, he does. And
that's the thing he wants. And also, I feel like it's great too because there's been times where he's like, I just want to sit at home, be with my wife.
The fact he even laid at the table. Hey, big thumbs up. The fact he even
the fuck
he even related to Sable was beyond me.
Well, listen, man. Not every pretty woman shallow, bro. Or not shallow. Not every pretty woman is shallow.
Yeah, that's true.
So I get that, but And
Brock,
that's the thing. He just wants to sit home with his wife and hang out with his
and I think
wife
I think
and
right
work on
now
the farm.
currently he's kind of turned out to be out a family man at this point of his career. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
and when Fun Brock comes out, he's fun. He's a fun guy. He can be a fun guy.
oh, got it. Remember when he might have brought the modified the briefcase into like a boom box that one year.
Yeah, he can bring out Fun Brock when he wants to. If he's like, oh, I want to have fun tonight. I'll have fun.
What made me laugh like a freaking high union when he brought the mariachi band in 2005.
Oh, I was about to mention that shit too. God damn it!
Like,
great minds think alike right there. But that's the thing. Like, you know,
like
you can't really attack wrestlers without knowing their backstory. You know, or why they do what they do. Like the reason why Shotzi cut her hair was because she was honoring her sister who just found out she has cancer.
Yeah.
And honestly, I will never attack Shotzi for that. Ever.
Absolutely not.
I give her a lot of credit for that.
Hey, Shotzi's just kind of people once you did
the most noble thing, Shotzi.
And really,
so don't listen to the damn haters. Do not listen to them.
And that's the thing too. It's like you know, I think
that's what someone that's what
oh yeah, that's a whole different story in its entirety.
And that's another thing I want to talk about. That's another thing. Thank you, John. You're giving us content. Thank you, brother. But
I think we did touch up on that, but I don't really think we went in depth with on that one.
Here's what he's talking about, right? I'm gonna go in depth here. There's a lot of these people out there, right? The only want signatures so they can go home and sell it on eBay.
They want to make that.
They want the money. Or they just like, you know, they want to meet a wrestler so bad that they're going to airports as they land to that next city. Here's why it's a bad idea. All right? These wrestlers have to wake up early in the morning from their hotels, immediately go on a plane, and here's the thing. They have to go through airport security. They have to do all this other shit that no one wants to do when they take flights. Let's be real here. No one wants to do all that shit when they take flights. They have to do all of that. So they're already stressed about that. They're stressed about the job. They're stressed about getting to the next city on time. They're stressed about, you know, booking a hotel. They're stressed about what are they going to eat that day or what have you. And you have these fans bombarding them at hotels. They're not just bombarding. I mean, at airports. And yes, they do bombard them at hotels too, which is another bad idea. And that's an issue with me. That is an issue with me and a lot of wrestling fans. You don't wait until they're at the arena. Or they're coming into the arena. And then you're out in the crowd. And then you can say, hi, can I get your autograph? Or wait until a meet and greet. And then say, hi, can I get your autograph?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
These wrestlers have boundaries. People have boundaries. And these wrestling fans are breaking these boundaries. And it makes me angry. It makes me angry. And it makes these wrestlers angry. And a lot of these wrestlers, and you see these pictures, and there's this guy on TikTok who goes to these airports and gets these wrestlers autographs, and every single video that I watch, these wrestlers look annoyed out of their mind, and rightfully so. Wait until you're at the arena. Okay, wait till you're out in the arena. Wait for them to pull up outside the arena and they're greeting the fans. That's when they sign autographs. Why? That's when they're happy to sign autographs. When they're at the event. Not when they're traveling. They're done. They just traveled to the next city and they're tired. because they had to wake up at like maybe 3, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock to catch a flight.
I agree. It's
So
like, and shit. If you looked at the last episode we also talk about don't stalk them either. That's a whole different start. It's entire.
yeah, and John Allen just said it best just now. He said it best just now. These wrestlers don't have a 9 to 5.
Boy,
They are working 365 days a year. For every single year they work in WWE. They have what, 2 days off a month? It's Saturday, Sunday, and now with this whole Saturday night's main event, live event shit going on, they only have Sundays off, except for pay-per-view days. So they don't have a 9 to 5. They have 365 days. That's their shift. 365 days a year.
Yeah. And not just that too, but you're also making some very good money out of that too, depending where you are in the pecking order of things. Yeah,
you go from maybe a couple. You might go from like 10,000 to maybe 1 million or so, if you're a top star. And that's the thing. Yes, they're making a lot of money, and that still doesn't excuse being a dick to these wrestlers and to stalking them or to waiting or not being patient enough to wait till they're at the arena to get autographs from them. Because like this is bad, man. This is what I talk about. Like, this is why it angers me seeing, oh, this wrestler's being stalked, that wrestler's being stalked, or seeing these videos of these wannabe TikTokers going out and going into these airports and meeting these wrestlers when they're tired. They don't want to be bothered until they get to the show.
Yeah, and the thing of this too, and not just that too, and especially when working with the WWE, you pretty much do everything out of pocket. Like other companies, they just, and that's a lot of things too. That, like I said, I don't really, that's the one thing I do. And yes, I know people say, "Oh, why can't they charge that?" I don't think we touched upon this, but I think the reason why they don't do that anymore, for those who don't remember the plane ride from hell, that's pretty much where everything like that came to a freaking halt. Because you would think like, oh, this company is a $5+ billion company, like they should be covering the expenses of the hotels, the rent, like the rental cars. I guess you could say the wrestlers can cover that, because I think back then
this is why 90% of the wrestlers, they take road trips instead of going on planes. It's because of these fans. It's because of these fans. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach that these fans do that. And again, I get the whole charter flight thing. They don't do it anymore because of the plane ride from hell in 2002. I get that. But I think they need to start doing that again.
Because it's like, because
nowadays I don't think you really have any like careless people. The only careless people that I really think of are the Usos, because of the whole drinking thing.
Yeah, that is.
So I would honestly just ban them from charter flights. Like, don't go to charter flight because there's alcohol in here. No.
That too, and you're gonna have to let someone else drive them, because I mean, obviously, like you said,
not really, because they don't drink during the job when they're traveling. But but other than that, you don't have a lot of these, people drinking and cutting up, and you don't have Ric Flair gyrating into a goddamn. You don't have Ric Flair doing what he did to that flight attendant.
Yeah,
you don't have anybody like that.
And I think if you watch that Dark Side of the Ring episode, boy, that break everything. Boy, that put
everything into perspective. That episode of that show. But back to the whole thing. I think they could bring that back. They could bring the charter flights back if things keep going the way that they're going with these fans. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt it's going to happen, but something's got to give. Something's got to give with that.
That's true, but not just from the fans, but you can imagine some of these wrestlers are going fucking broke because of the expenses from, you had to rent a car, you had to get gas, the hotel, the food. Like, look at all your necessary expenses on those trips and shit like that.
I don't think they're going. I think a lot of the undercard may be going broke. The upper card, they're getting millions, so I don't really think they're going broke.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Most of the the undercards they don't pay the undercard pretty well. I think Sami Zayn actually talked about that. He was making more of what he was doing on the indies than before he went up being a white hot baby.
Here's the thing. I feel like the indies is much worse.
Oh yeah.
The indies, you're getting paid probably like pennies on the dollar.
Well,
no, you know what it is? You know what the term is? They're not even getting paid. You know what they're getting paid? This is what the term is. A hot dog and a handshake. That's what the term is. That means they ain't getting shit.
I never heard that. I never heard that in my life.
That's literally the term that indie wrestlers use or wrestlers use who work in the indies. They only get a hot dog and a handshake. That's the term. That means they're not getting nothing. That means they're not getting nothing.
I fully admit I've never actually heard that term until now. So that makes sense. But
how long have you been watching wrestling, bro?
Like I said, I've never heard that term before. Like I said, there's just some
I've heard that countless times.
I didn't know that was even
you get paid a hot dog and a handshake in the indie scene. You don't get paid that much. My buddy who does the indie stuff, he works another job.
Yeah, some of these indie wrestlers who have alties have like a secondary job. So
they have a secondary job. Yeah, they have a second job.
But moving on from that.
But yeah, moving on.
But a few more things we're going to talk about before we wrap it up. SummerSlam coming up. They just did announce another match for the card itself, and that is Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. Now, a lot of people are not saying speculation, but this has kind of been reported that fuck, I hate English. Ronda Rousey is supposed to leave WWE because I think that's when her contract is set to expire after SummerSlam. And no one means how you want to see Shayna Baszler kick her ass.
Yeah, and first, stop talking so fast. I think that's what hurts you. You're talking like a mile a minute, like it took like 15 you had like 15 coffees, all right?
Better pull a Thea Hale.
You're sounding like Thea Hale, talking like 15 miles a minute. That's why you're stumbling through your words there. Don't talk too fast. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm just ready for Shayna to kick some ass, bro. But honestly, I'm kind of scared too because I like Shayna. Shayna's a great wrestler. I'll give her dues. And also after that promo she cut when she initially turned face on Ronda, the Raw after she turned face, she can cut a damn promo.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to forget she can't just wrestle, but she can also speak on the microphone.
No, she sounded legit pissed off, and obviously she wasn't legit pissed off. Her and Ronda storyline wise, she's pissed off, but she really sold it. She sold her getting pissed off.
Oh, absolutely,
and it was awesome. It was great.
And Tara, I think we talked about that too, because like in terms of the promo work, if you got to convince us otherwise,
yeah, you got to be convincing. You got to sound like it's real. You got to
either if you're a face or a heel. If you can't convince what you're selling us, we're not going to get interested.
And Shayna's doing that. Shayna is convincing, and the thing is, she was pretty convincing as a heel.
And Tara,
she was given a few bad gimmicks, but she was convincing.
Absolutely, and not just that too, Tyler. We also talked about the last few times, because we actually said it. I think one show that I think it's time to really pull the trigger of her getting out of Ronda's shadow.
We said it. Here's the thing: we said it literally the Thursday before that pay-per-view where she turned face.
That's like
literally the Thursday before that. I'm like, I think it's time for
I don't think
Shayna
it's
to
just
get out
that.
of her
We've been saying
shadow.
that for countless months, up to almost a year. It's like, can we just
Yeah,
get her out of it?
we kept saying it, and then they pulled the trigger. I'm like, yes, finally they did it.
Yeah, and the most shocking way you could actually pull the trigger on a face turn. It's like at a pay per view. Let's be real, the premium live event is still bullshit. That's a bullshit term of a pay per view.
It's just pay per view.
But yeah, so on Thursday, so technically today, the company did officially announce Ronda Rousey will battle Shayna Baszler in a singles match. This feud was set up at Money in the Bank when Baszler turned. So basically when Baszler turned heel by attacking Ronda Rousey, costing the women's tag titles.
Who wrote that? Who the hell wrote that?
Andrew Ravens.
No, that's a lie. No, he got it wrong. He got it completely wrong. That's what I initially thought when that happened. She turned heel. No, she's face.
Yeah, you could definitely hear it in her promo ability.
He's like, no, a heel would not say, "I speak for everybody."
That's a face move.
A heel would not care about the fans. She's caring about the fans. She's siding with us. She's a face.
I mean, every time when you watch her like when she comes out, like she gets a nice, good little crowd, and geez, when was outside of Shayna and I guess to say Rhea, hardly anyone gets that kind of reaction. Then again,
the only ones that really get that kind of reaction is Shayna, Rhea, Seth, and LA Knight.
And speaking of LA Knight, and DJ Jones is actually going to tear this company a new one because there's been talks of his LA Knight's being halted to quote for bad behaviors. Like what? Like it's.
Here's the thing. WWE, they're not pushing him because they don't feel LA Knight's the guy. I'm starting to see it now. I'm thinking, okay, they're having a trajectory where he's going to get a U.S. title shot. He's going to get a mid-card title shot.
Nope.
And then Ray wins the match. I'm like, yeah, I think LA Knight's fucked.
And I know. I think it might have said something like WWE's dropping the ball with LA Knight, and you looked like and you told me that I was fucking crazy. And boy,
you're right. You were right. And the thing is, you saw it before I saw it. But then I'm thinking, okay, maybe I was trying to hold hope. That was my.
We're gonna have plans after post WrestleMania. Nothing from that. No word from Night of Champions or
we're gonna have plans. We're gonna have plans post WrestleMania. We're gonna have plans for Night of Champions. Oh, LA Knight's set to win the Money in the Bank. That didn't happen.
Even though I wasn't really too upset about that because
I wasn't upset after that. I was upset.
You couldn't really go wrong with either Damian Priest or LA Knight there. So
I really didn't care about that. But then I'm thinking, all right, okay.
I have something planned for after Money in the Bank. Nothing. And
here's the thing. Here's how I looked at it. I'm like, all right, they went with the secondary pick, which was Damian Priest. I'm not mad at that. Whatever. Damian Priest deserves it. I wasn't too mad about that.
Even though it's been
like 90% of the fans were shitting a brick after that. I'm like, and hating on Damian Priest. I hated that. Like, no, don't diss Damian Priest for that.
I mean, he hasn't really had. He hasn't really had that time at the spotlight. He did since Backlash? I guess you could say.
Yeah. He had his time in the spotlight in Judgment Day. He had his time. But I think it was time for them to pull the trigger on him anyway. But what really got me thinking, oh no, was when they called an audible after in that Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. title when they gave it to Ray. When they gave the number one contendership to Ray.
And you can see the writing on the wall for LA Knight. It's like,
or no, they gave the finals appearance to Ray. And I'm like, I don't know about this. Yeah, LA Knight was the guy, and you dropped the ball there. I'm like, that guy. And the thing is, they obviously have ears. They have to have heard the crowd reaction week in and week out since Money in the Bank. Like, even before Money in the Bank, the guy was over, and you screwed him up. Money in the Bank, I'm okay with that. But after that, you screwed him up. You screwed him up.
Definitely.
Like, I'm like, And the thing is, they were rumoring him to win that Fatal 4-Way. Nope, Ray's winning the thing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I get Ray and Austin Theory have a story. I get that. No one's hating Ray for winning. I don't care. Like, cool, he won. But LA Knight was talking his shit the entire time for weeks, as well as Sheamus. And Sheamus, yes, he also didn't win either, which was a huge mistake. You gave it to Santos, and I like Santos, but the story was there for Sheamus, and you dropped the ball on him too, and he was talking his shit. LA Knight was they gave these guys promo time. And nothing. You know, you gave Ray a little, oh, I'm gonna beat everyone else. Like in that little box thing where they cut promos for it. Like, come on. You gave him less promo time and LA Knight loses? Come on. Come on.
Not so much too, and I brought it up, not even on the show, but but LA Knight was advised not to renew his contract once it expires. Honestly, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't dare do it. Either go back to NWA, go back to Impact, where you found most success in. Don't come back to WWE. Don't resign because they're not going to use you well. You might be in competitive matches. You might be predominantly on TV. I get that, but are you winning big matches? No. Are you winning titles? No. Are you getting that well-deserved push? No.
And the fact the dude got over on his own.
The guy organically got over with the fans.
And see, this is why a lot of times I feel like sometimes can be a career killers.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If WWE didn't create you and created your and you didn't and they made you get over because they wanted you to get over themselves, then you're fucked. Zack Ryder, he got organically got over, got buried by Cena. Dude, Zack Ryder,
fucking YouTube of all places.
Yeah, he got big on YouTube, and he got this push. He wins the U.S. title, but then he gets buried by Cena.
Yeah, the golden shovel.
There goes his push. He slipped right down the card. Right down the card.
And it's bad enough that you did the jobber status and also getting kicked in the nuts by Eva.
No, that was Eve.
Eve. Why do I always keep thinking of fucking Eva Marie for whatever fucking reason?
It was Eve. Because it's around the same name. It was the same. Oh, it was Eve Torres. Yeah, it was Eve Torres. But yeah, he gets kicked in the nuts at WrestleMania.
And then you got Kane pushing him in a wheelchair and off the fucking stage. It's like,
and then his career just died after that. Yeah, he won. And then we had the audacity
to make him win
to have him win a ladder match for the Intercontinental title. The next day he loses it. Like, what the hell is that shit?
Yeah, but ever since then, the dude has been fucking killing it ever since then.
Bro, he is the indie god for a reason, bro.
And the fact that he was super petty about it too when he had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship around his waist at a DDT event.
No, I don't think he was petty. He was just supporting his wife.
But yeah,
that's not petty. He was just supporting his wife.
But even though yes, I know we know ringside news is not the best thing, but I remember bringing this to your attention. This was through that Mark Henry did advise LA Knight to. He was the one who actually advised LA Knight not to renew his contract, and you tell him it's like, oh, like this shit's not gonna happen, and we're seeing pretty much the writing on the wall for LA Knight and WWE.
Bro, he's warning you, and a lot of these people are like, yo, LA Knight, the writing's on the wall in your career. You're not winning these big matches. You're in these big matches, but you're not winning them. And it's just
you're very popular with the fucking fans.
And that's the thing. You know what it reminds me of? Reminds me of? Early 2010s Kofi Kingston.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that. Super over with the fans. In Money in the Bank matches, but he never wins them.
Yeah.
He never wins big matches.
Because they always think of him as just a straight mid card talent.
He's just mid-card talent. Same thing with LA Knight. But the thing is, he's not even getting a push in the mid-card.
I believe he's just sliding down the card as popular as he is.
He's sliding down. But the thing is, he was never even at the top.
Even though when you look, okay, so the way we could describe when you hear the crowd reaction, like you think he's like he screams main eventer from a character perspective.
From a character perspective, and the way the crowd reacts to this guy should be a main eventer.
And he is not.
No, he's not, and it's bullshit.
Sad.
It's sad and it's bullshit because this guy should be a main eventer.
You know, it's like it makes you wonder. It's like that. Why do you think it makes you think over the years like how much careers that this company has killed off? You obviously, boy, like Samoa Joe. Now, obviously, yes, Samoa Joe couldn't stay healthy. But boy, now when he's fully healthy, and look what he's done ever since leaving that company.
Bro's in a big. Bro got picked, dude. You know what's ironic about this? With Samoa Joe, do you know what's completely laughably ironic?
Lay it on for the viewers, man.
This man is on a TV show on Peacock, the same place where WWE is held.
Yeah.
He's in the new Twisted Metal show, and guess where that's at? Peacock. Guess where WWE holds their shit? Peacock.
Peacock.
That is laughably ironic.
Let's see who else do they really kill off. Zack Ryder, but boy, yeah, and he's been killing it ever since getting quote unquote killed off from the company.
Brian Myers is killing it, completely killing it. Brian Myers.
Yep.
For Impact, absolutely killing it. He's in a program now tagging with Bully Ray. Now,
even though it's that's like
he's tagging with legends in Impact. Like, what the fuck?
Like anyway, what happened? Like, what did he do to actually get super better than what he was?
Like, dude, like, here's the thing, though. You have this man on a big-ass losing streak in his return. You had him walk out with a walking stick in bright colors.
Yeah, that was they pulled a Dumb and Dumber on that one.
I'm like, and then you have him randomly win the tag titles. They were jokes of champions.
Yeah, and there were reports that that was not supposed to happen.
It wasn't.
Oh,
somebody messed up the pin, so they weren't even supposed to be champions. They were supposed to still be on a losing streak.
I mean, if you're talking about another tag team, this is a tag team whose careers got killed off really quickly. FTR.
Let's go back. Let's go back to 2019, 2020, shall we? Remember Uzi Hot?
Yeah.
And yes, it was supposed to be a funny segment, but really it pissed everybody off.
Yeah,
because FTR should have not been in that position.
Or at the time, there was a revival at the time before they jumped away to AEW. And boy, did they make the right choice ever since then.
And we all know what FTR really means. We all know what that means. Fuck the revival.
I mean, and the fact they have a 1980s gimmick, but it's connected with a lot of people in AEW.
Yeah, it is
crazy.
It is, and they're tag champs right now.
And they actually they put in some banger matches ever since going to AEW.
Bro, their best one though was a few weeks ago when they went up against Bullet Club Gold and they went out.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy shit.
It really does. And sometimes I realize the WWE is so kind of blinded that you don't have like gems right in front of you. You had a guy like
you have so many gems out there, and finally, and the one thing, and the one gem that they have been ignoring, the two gems that they have been ignoring, that they're finally booking well, and I'm proud of them for actually waking the hell up. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
I'll give you that. I still don't think they're gems, in my honest opinion.
They're gems. They're gems. Because remember, Sony and NXT was ruthless as hell.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I might actually I'll take
And,
that
and
back.
Chelsea Green, she's not a bad wrestler. She's not.
I take that back.
Yeah, like I liked Chelsea Green in Impact. I liked her in Impact. I liked her in NXT. She was pretty good in NXT. Call her up. She gets one injury. They fire her. Goes back to Impact. Liked her in Impact again. She came back to WWE. And in the beginning, it wasn't going well. I'll let you that right now. I'll let you know that right now. Even with Sonya Deville, for the last since 2016, wasn't going well. Was not going well at all. And I know they tried with Absolution. I know they tried. They tried with that. The thing is, they didn't try hard enough.
Because on paper, you had something right there on paper, but it was.
You had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and you had Paige as the manager. Like, you had something.
Like Tyler said, it was the execution that just killed it.
Execution basically. Just went. Because they were jobbers at that point, and then what really sold me on Sonya Deville was when she cut that promo on Mandy Rose when she turned heel on her in the pandemic. She cut that promo. I'm like, holy shit, that's a great ass promo she cut.
It really was, and that's what worries about me with some of these stars in NXT. Like, you got gems down there. It's like if you're gonna drop the ball with them, it's like. And if you go elsewhere, boy.
You know what I'm really fearful of?
Shoot.
Tiffany Stratton's over in NXT. I don't know if that gimmick's going to work in the main roster.
They're going to find a way to screw her up on their main roster.
They're going to find a way to screw her up. I'm scared about it because I like Tiffany Stratton.
Or another
She's
guy,
a great heel, great character.
Carmella Hayes. Who knows if they may fuck him up on the main roster.
I feel like it's another LA Knight situation with him. He looks like a star, talks like a star, he wrestles like a star.
He has everything to be a main eventer. It's just the company doesn't see it.
They don't see it. It's the same thing with LA Knight.
And it's sad because I've always
Triple H saw LA Knight as this big star. Hell, you had him win the $1 million goddamn championship in NXT.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I completely. Well, that again, that's remember.
And that's like usually back in the '90s when wrestlers get seen as a star, they win that title.
And Triple H actually had the right choice of a guy that's. And then you have senile Vince who just doesn't see this man's a star. And then
there's an article I read that reportedly Vince McMahon is high on LA Knight, and I looked at that article and I said, "Spare me the bullshit. You don't see highly in LA Knight at all."
Yeah, because what you did was stuck with that maximum male model bullshit, and
first you gave him a stupid ass. Hell, you almost ruined 4 careers. Lo and behold, 2 of their careers were saved. The other 2 lost cause.
Yeah, I don't want to see LA Knight's a lost cause on the main roster, but it's kind of look like he might be just a lost cause.
That trajectory is
and it pains me to say it for someone who has.
It pains me too. It pains me to agree to this. It pains me to agree to this.
It sucks me because the dude. Now, yes, it's like, oh, your age kind of plays a factor. The dude can hang with the best of the best.
Yeah, he can.
Like the dude.
No, you screwed over LA Knight by giving another old guy a title, a finals opportunity for a title shot. Spare me that nonsense.
Yeah, it's.
But anyway,
it's God. You know what? If you think about it too, like I said, that another career that was almost ruined but was saved. Adam Cole. Look at the direction he was going in WWE.
Bro, what made me crack up and made me think that was the right decision for him to just leave after that contract came up and go to AEW. They were going to call him up he was going to be the victim to that male model shit.
Oh boy, thank God he got out when he did.
He was going to be the victim.
But
I'm like,
boy,
are you kidding me? He was going to do the male model shit?
and there's been other reports that they were going to make him shave his entire head. And I was like, oh no.
Shave his head. You're going to have him shave his head. And he was going to be the one managing Marseille and Mantois. He was going to be canalized by the juices of bullshit.
I'm sorry. That's just, God. Whoever came up with that fucking slogan needs to be smacked.
Vince did it because it sounds perverted as shit.
Oh boy. And now you have a guy like LA Knight, going from that gimmick, worked his ass off to get himself organically over. And look at every time when his music plays, the crowd, the fucking look at the arena.
Crowd fucking pop. They blow a damn gasket in the stands.
And the fact that he doesn't even have to say his name, but the crowd just does it for him. So, it's like the dude has the crowd in the palm of his hand.
The thing is, it was like that in NXT. It was like that there too. He got over. Then and the thing is, the Undisputed Era was supposed to be a heel faction. They had to organically turn him face. Because they got so over. The crowd loved them. And they organically turned face. And then, of course, Adam Cole turned heel on the entire team. And he had that feud with Kyle O'Reilly, which that was a great-ass feud in NXT. Him and Kyle O'Reilly, ooh, that felt like a blood feud. But, again, like, you have these wrestlers in your disposal that are gems. And
exactly. Like, you got stars in the making, but yet you rely on some people that are, one, or sometimes well past their prime, or two, that's, let's be real, or not, people don't want to see on everyday television. And talk about another
Charlotte Flair.
Not just her, but there's also
did I say that too loud? Did I say that too loud?
No. But I'm thinking, who's another lost cause? Lacey Evans. Cut her, for Christ's sakes.
Bro, I didn't
even quote tweet.
The thing is, here's the thing. They were going so well with that Southern Belle gimmick. So well. But I feel like she killed her own push.
Yeah, that was on her.
Because she went and made
controversial remarks.
She made a controversial remark about autistic people.
Yeah, and that pissed me off a little bit too.
And then she quickly deleted it. And then we saw it, and it made that.
I actually called her out on her bullshit. Actually, on when I quote tweeted her, but this is before she deleted it, said, and I don't know, I didn't even put this on Twitter, and I wish I did. I said I could have tagged her in, but I said, you know what, that ain't me. Because if I did want to get petty, I definitely will call her out on her bullshit. But I'm not going to.
Honestly, in this day and age, people fight back nowadays against bullshit. So it would have been smart of you to do that.
But, it's like we said, you got gems, not just on the main roster. You got some, but you got some a lot in NXT. Tiffany Stratton, Carmella Hayes, Braun Breaker.
Hell, we didn't see a goddamn hell.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the crowd fucking loves her down there. It's like, and you have Ilya Dragunov, who's been he's another gem.
I think now they're booking him as like a ruthless heel.
Yeah, and he's been fucking killing it ever since.
He's been killing it. Yeah, he's in a feud with Carmella. He's in a feud with Carmella for the title.
Shit, give me that fucking match any day of the damn week.
Yo, that's why I'm excited for NXT, the NXT pay-per-view, the Bash. Because we're getting Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes for that time.
And you're also getting a triple threat match with Wesley, Dominic, and Mustafa Ali.
And as much as I hate that Dominic was inserted in this shit, that's going to be a good match too.
And speaking of which, Where the hell has been? Where's JD McDonough has been all this fucking time? That's another guy that I feel like that's become like a.
They completely fucked him
they
over.
fucked him up seriously.
Because they used him for a couple weeks and then they just don't even use him anymore.
Like you had that video package for you gave him a nice vignette and nothing.
Oh, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see a ruthless side of him on Raw. Where's that ruthless side? Hell, where's the guy been?
It's been fucking terrible. Not Jaden McDonough, but his use has been fucking. But that's another gym you just dropped the fucking ball with. What the fuck?
JD McDonough, yeah.
Okay, you want think about this too. Go back to NXT UK. Him and Finn Balor fucking tore it down at NXT UK in Blackpool. You can't tell me fucking otherwise. I'm sorry. When you have a guy like Jaden McDonough, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, and now if you drop the ball with Braun Breaker, I'm going to be fucking shocked at your incompetency.
I'm going to be pissed if that happens.
If you drop the ball, you got something there. For the love of fucking Christ, this is why sometimes this is why we can all agree this company is super fucking lazy when it comes to its booking. It's like, and John, or somebody mentioned it, it's like, then again, we don't expect nothing less from this fucking company. Like, it's the same.
It's been like that for years. It's been like that for years. Hell, back in the early 2000s, and they had questionable booking there too.
Yeah.
Remember Stevie goddamn Richards?
Yeah. Actually,
he was being pushed.
His YouTube videos are actually kind of fun to watch.
Hold on. Whoa. He was being pushed for the better part of like late 2002, early 2003. After that, he was jobbed out by 05. Like, what the? Like, this company. I get it. You have a hefty roster. You can't push everybody. I get that. But it's the fact that a lot of these wrestlers that don't deserve it are there at the top. And then those who do deserve it, they're jobbing out.
Bottom.
They're at the bottom of the card. They're not even on TV or they're on main event predominantly. Oh, you know who else is on main event now? I forgot. I saw a video on it earlier and it pissed me off. I'm like, why is this person on main event?
Are you talking about is it Cedric or Shelton?
No, it's neither.
Oh wow.
Somebody else. I forgot. It was a current episode of main event. They were going against one of Jinder's lackeys because they're not even over.
Oh. I was gonna ask, is he white or black or a different race?
Look up the card. Look up the card for last week's main event. And you'll find out who the hell I'm talking about. He went up, I think it was against Senga.
I exactly know who you're talking about. I just can't think of the name at the fucking moment. See, that's what bothers me. Is like when you see the face, it's the name is what gets you. When is main event? Usually Saturdays?
I don't know. I have no idea what day it drops. It's on Hulu. So you can literally watch it any day and say, "Oh, it's that day," but I don't know when they initially drop it.
So so they do it on Thursdays.
Oh, so they drop it on Thursdays.
So, okay. Just bear with me.
Because I saw someone recap it. I'm like, no, there's no way they're on main event.
If you think about it, Nikki Cross was also part of on main event. That's another one. That's another team you dropped.
But here's the thing, Nikki Cross, they were struggling to get her a gimmick.
Well, last week,
so they just sent her down. They just sent her down to the main event. But after a while, she's back on the main roster. They did the same thing with Ricochet. They were struggling with him, but now he's back on the main roster.
So last week, 2 matches. He had Apollo Crews defeating JD McDonough on main event. and then Riddick Moss
There's freaking JD. They put him on a goddamn jobber show.
and Akira Tozawa.
Oh, that's who it was. No, that pisses me off. JD fucking McDonough, he's a main event guy now? A main event guy.
In this past main event, you had Sanko defeating Akira Tozawa and Nikki Cross defeating Kaden Carter.
Oh, wow. They put Kaden Carter down there, too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're dropping the ball with that women's tag team that just brought call.
Kaden Carter is a main event. They put Nikki Cross back at main event. They got JD in main event. Apollo Crews shouldn't even be in main event. What was the point of? What the hell was the point of him calling him up from NXT?
Not Kaden's not the only one. June 29th. Yeah, they put Katana was also on main event as well on June 29th. Exactly.
You have one of your hottest tag teams.
And
no wonder no one cares about the women's tag division because you don't even care about them yourself.
Roxanne Perez was on.
Roxanne, that's a tryout match. That's a tryout match. Whatever.
Same with Nation Frazier. That was May 11th. Who's another one? I feel like that's a gem they're dropping the ball with. Piper Niven. What the hell is this going on about? It's like,
no, you know what it is? You know what it is? She was working an injury.
Ah, really?
Yeah, she. Yo, speaking of Piper Niven, it blew my fucking mind, right? So she put a tweet saying, I miss you guys. Talking about us. And then I retweeted and said, we miss you more. She fucking liked the shit. What the fuck?
It's goody. Well, thank
you, Piper. Miss you.
So February 16th, Braun Breaker actually was on main event
tryout match.
Oh, go away, Wendy Chu. Son of a bitch. She was on. Thank God I did not watch main event. Thank God we don't watch main event because that's so stupid. So right now, you also had Zoe. Well, this before. I think this is Zoe Stark was on there, but I think before she got the call up. If I'm correct.
Yeah, that was her trial match. That was like right before she got called up.
Okay. Loomis is on there. Then that's kind of no surprise. I think he's just
Loomis. But here's the thing: Loomis never really got over on the main roster, so I kind of get why he's been there.
JD McDonough has been on there twice from what I've been seeing. One from July 20th and June 22nd. He's been on there.
He should not be there. He should not be there.
Hey, Xia Li's on there.
On Raw. He should be on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
And he's not there.
The most consistent that's been on there has been Akira Tozawa, and not for obvious reasons.
Well, obviously, he's been jobbing out since 2017. I don't even know why he's still even there. I was expecting him to request his release.
Nah, I forgot Indy. That's right. I think Indy had a tryout match before she actually got her call up from NXT.
Oh wait, that's another one that's getting the ball dropped on her. Where the hell has Indy been?
I don't even have an answer,
bro. She had that one tag match where she teamed with the absolute worst women's wrestler on that roster. After that, nothing.
Well, right now, in terms of the women that's been misconsistent, that's Dana Brooke, and for obvious fucking reason.
Misconsistent for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Can't wrestle. Can't talk on the mic.
An appearance this on April 27th, along with Cora Jade.
That was a tryout match.
Right, because Nathan Frazier had a apparently he took the L against Akira Tozawa on May 11th. I mean, Candice LeRae was there. Xia Li's right now has been on main event. I think more than 3 times actually. In the span of about
the thing with Xia Li, she's never really had the ability to get over.
It's just
that's been her problem since NXT. So I can see why she's there.
But yeah, so you have both the Kaden and Katana had an appearance on main event. With Jada McDonough has had been there twice.
which is absolutely freaking bullshit. That these people are on there. JD should be on Raw. Kid and Katana should be in contention for damn tag titles by now.
It's then again, that's Vince for you. He does not like tag teams.
Yeah, he doesn't like tag teams. Then why the hell did you create the freaking women's tags belts? What the hell is that for?
That's like your hypocrisy is showing. Or because if you think about it, because I mean, boy, I mean, you can count many tag teams that Vince has broken over the years. Deuce and Domino with okay, I'm drawing a blank on another one. There's been a lot he's broken up.
You had Deuce and Domino, you had Enzo and Cass, which is bullshit.
That should never fucking happen. So first of all, those two breakups right there are was a travesty. Son of a bitch. Outside of that, that's kind of really hard to really put your finger on.
They broke up Brian Kendrick and Paul London.
Even though it was they were a very underrated tag team at the time.
They were a very underrated tag team. They broke up. I think it was Ray and the Billy Kidman for the stupidest fucking it was Billy Kidman and Brian Kendrick, I think, or Paul London,
something like one of those. So regardless, like I said, the art of tag team wrestling in terms of
what really bothered me about that heel turn was the fact that the reason why Billy Kidman turned heel was because he didn't want to hurt his opponent. What? Yeah, that's how Vince wrote the shit.
I was like,
I'm like, what the what?
First of all, a heel is supposed to be ruthless, mean, and unforgiving.
And they want to hurt their opponent. Like the opposite? What?
Like the one I could see if they had an actual like that heel turn at the time, it was definitely would have been Brian Kendrick. I mean, he had I guess you could say a little bit of a look for that. But it's just like I said, going back to my point, you know, the art of tag team wrestling in Vince McMahon's eyes is non-existent. Like we're seeing, you know, the New Day has not, you know, I think they might be done as a tag team at this point, which is, you know, it sucks to say. I actually kind of still really like them. You know, yes, I mean the Biggie thing. Yes, I mean that's understandable. Now Kofi, I think he's had an ankle injury, that's just very unfortunate. And Xavier Woods, he's just there. You know, it really sucks to say. He's just there. But it's oh, I think another guy that I feel like I think they're kind of dropping the ball. Chad Gable, for good as a wrestler he is.
No. I highly disagree with that. Because they're winning big matches against the Viking Raiders, which is great. Another incredible tag team.
They're dropping the ball with.
No, they're not, because they're in an incredible feud on TV. That's fine. And they had a few wins against Alpha Academy. But Alpha Academy is one of the most hottest teams out there in WWE.
Yeah.
And it got over, and they're pushing them. And they're predominantly on TV. They're getting pushes. That's fine. Chad Gable is not getting screwed. He's not. Otis isn't getting screwed. Maxine isn't getting screwed. Hell, I think Maxine was saved.
Yeah, you know what? That is actually kind of crazy now that you think about it. And thank God that Maxwell Male Model bullshit's not finally over. Thank God.
It's done. It's completely done. She turned face against this. She turned face against them and said, "No, I don't want any part of that anymore."
Whoever wrote that, thank you. Good Lord, finally we can get that off our screens.
I don't even think they booked that. I just said that she turned face by defying them, but the thing is, it was never put on TV. She just was segued out of that shit, like quietly. All of a sudden, she's in the team with Alpha Academy.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. See, we're saying the taglines. They're over. See, that's why we love them. That's why Chad Gable is not getting screwed.
Shush, please.
Please.
Oh my god. It's like we said, in all
That's why I love the team. They have a tagline you can repeat.
it's like and it's it really is sad to say you have some of these like gems like you have in the palm of your hands that you are kind of screwing a little bit. Like I said, like I said, LA Knight is a perfect example that's getting really not getting the respect that he truly deserves. If you have you have a ton of gems down at NXT, like Tyler said, yeah, Tiffany Stratton. We don't know if her gimmick's going to work on the main roster, and that worries me. That concerns me. Braun Breaker, another huge gem. You drop the ball with him, I'm going to be pissed because that. I
just saw another tag team from the women's side. Where in the actual hell have Isla Dawn and Alba Fire been?
Yeah, you know what? That is a very good point. Where the hell they have been?
Where the hell are they? Where are they? They got called up to what? SmackDown?
Or
Raw?
It might have been Raw because I think that's.
Where in the holy hell have they been? You book them to lose. You have them lose the tag titles, and then they're not even seen. Like, okay, I know this show is like consisting of a lot of WWE ranting and WWE bashing. I know it seems that way, and yes,
but some is for rightfully so.
Some rightful, but it's for rightful reasons. But yeah, they got to do better. They got to do better with this. They got to do better with the booking and how they treat the wrestlers. And with the LA Knight thing, they need to do better with this guy. They do.
Well,
but anyway, any more wrestling news?
I think one more. No. Hang on. I think I saw it. You know what? This was actually from a couple of days ago. Former WWE/WCW star Jeff Bagwell. Or Buff Bagwell. Why the fuck do I say Jeff?
Baseball. Because baseball.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, where the fuck did Jeff Bagwell, the word Jeff come to mind? I meant Buff Bagwell, and for those who don't remember, dude was, or I think people remember as Buff the Sub. It's like, yeah, that name just doesn't sound too right. But the former
or you may know him as the guy who worked the Raw show and got fired the same night.
Like, how does that even fucking happen?
I don't know.
But regardless, so this was a couple days ago. So Paul Davis puts this out. This is kind of the headline. Pretty much reads: former WWE/WCW star Buff Bagwell earlier arrested. Jesus fucking Christ! Arrested earlier this month. Don't even say shit. I just had a dyslexia moment once again.
I didn't even hear it. You're good, man.
I had earlier in front of arrested. It's like as an earlier arrested. It's like.
It makes sense.
And I caught myself.
Earlier arrested. He was arrested. That makes sense though.
Or yeah, the fact
so
you still bust my balls about the turnbuckle pad. You fucking. It said the turn pad buckle, so don't sue me for that.
What money do you got that I can sue you with? What? Okay,
it's just a figurative expression.
I know. I'm joking. Anyway.
Joking aside, but Marcus Buff Bagwell was arrested on July 13th, according to the Cobb County records in Marietta, Georgia. The records indicate he was pulled over for speeding, a misdemeanor, also charged with driving under the influence of drugs, also misdemeanor, was also released from jail on the 15th. But this appears to be an unfortunate setback for Bagwell, who has spoken about getting sober last August with the help of time and validation. The base he just had a relapse.
Damn, man. I can't be angry. I can't be angry at him. I can't.
It's just.
I feel bad. You were doing so well for the last couple of years,
and then
something happened, and you just relapse.
Yeah, and he said,
I hope he gets the help I hope he gets the help he needs.
Definitely. And they also did say,
I'll get DDP back on the phone.
I mean, DDP, I cannot praise that dude enough. Even though, yes, he wasn't
He
really
saved a lot of people. He saved a lot of people. He saved Jake the Snake. He saved Scott Hall.
Scott Hall. He saved countless
saved,
other people.
Dude, he saved Edge's career.
Yeah, that is actually DDP Yoga, man. And if you ever need, I highly recommend for those who are actually, if you're dealing with shit in life, DDP Yoga is the way. No.
Yeah. If you're going through something mentally and you need an escape, he has videos out there on his TikTok where he just motivates people constantly, like with messages.
Like the dude.
Watch those. If you have an injury, if you have like an injury or something, do yoga.
Or if you're still, if you're struggling to be, keep your sobriety, that's another good way to really help. And trust me, like we said, I wish Marcus Bagwell nothing but the best to get the help he needs. I mean, he looks so good. When the last time I saw some pictures of him, he looked so good.
He looked amazing. He looked amazing. He looked like he was better. He looked like he was better, and now he's back to where he was. And
just relapse is a horrible thing.
It happens to people. It happens to people. I mean, but it like there's a lot of times where it stems from like mental health and shit. He's got to have gone through some shit to where he relapses. So that's why we're not mad at him. We just feel bad for the guy. We feel bad for him.
Speaking of which,
we hope you get the help you deserve, Bagwell. We hope you do.
Absolutely.
You seem like a stand-up dude. In real life, man. You seem like a stand-up guy. Whatever demons you're facing, beat that shit.
I mean, shit. Last and final thing, and yes, I know I wanted to talk about that, but this has been interesting. I came this across my Twitter timeline, a little bit on TikTok as well, because I follow this wrestling news on .co on TikTok. But this was interesting. Steve Fall, who shout out to him for following on our Twitter account as well.
We're famous. We're famous. I'm going.
He interviewed former WWE Intercontinental Champion Ahmed Johnson. Now, for a lot of people who don't remember who he is, there's a lot of people, older fans remembering they were accusing him of not being safe. I think there was a moment he actually kind of pulled out of he could have been another member of the Nation of Dominant faction, but pulled out at the last minute. But this was interesting to see. According to Mike Rashoot, this was the headline that I didn't really come across. But when I saw that interview, I said, you know what, I gotta check this out. And an exclusive for WrestlingNews.co, Steve Fall interviewed former WWE IC champ Ahmed Johnson. During the interview, Johnson talked about how he was signed by WWE and got the call he got from Vince McMahon, his run in WWE, and why plans for him to win the world title were derailed. His issues started with Ron Simmons, the Nation of Boy, did he have some issues with guys like Ron Simmons, the Nation of Domination, Shawn Michaels, and the Clique.
Here's the thing. Everyone had from the stories I've heard about the 90s in WWE, everyone who wasn't involved with the Clique had a problem with the Clique.
Yeah.
So right. I'm not shocked about that. The Nation, though.
That's interesting.
That's kind of interesting, though. You have a problem with Ron Simmons. And Ron Simmons is known to be one of the nicest dudes in wrestling.
Well, unless actually had to piss off Ron Simmons, but you must be doing something bad. But regardless,
bro, I'm shocked that the man didn't full on stiff the guy in the ring, because there's been a few times where you piss off Ron Simmons, he's going to stiff you in the ring. He's going to punch you legitimately.
But yeah, so he did talk about on Shawn Michaels allegedly ruining his world title plans. He goes to say, and I quote, "I believe Vince had a change of mind. All that junk with Shawn Michaels and some of the other boys put in Vince's head, they're not ready for a black champion, but you're just seeing me win the Intercontinental belt. So, I'm ready. The fans are all ready. But Shawn Michaels, man, he kind of ran the coop back then. He was like the head dog back then. But so whatever he says, kind of went. I remember him calling me to the office one day after maybe my third match, and he tells me, Ahmed, I can't let you do them high flying moves anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You ain't letting me do nothing. First of all, I'll do it if I want to do it. He said, well, what happens is when I do it at 190 pounds, you come do it at 355 pounds. It doesn't look great when I do it. And end quote from Ahmed Johnson.
See, I call bullshit on that one because Ahmed Johnson, he used to do the high flying moves too, even as a big man. He can hit a clean elbow drop. So I do see his point there with the click. And with him saying
no, that's just from Shawn. That's just from his issue with Shawn Michaels allegedly.
I know. But here's the thing, but Shawn's a part of the clip, so that's why I'm generalizing.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Shawn's a part of the clip. But here's the thing. He does have a valid point about, the world's not ready for a black champion, or this company's not ready for a black champion. Because in the 80s, the 90s, even to now, black champions, when Kofi won the belt, he got shafted in the end. And Big E won the belt. His reign was shafted. Ron Simmons never won the belt. You had Junkyard Dog, I watched his Dark Side of the Ring. He was winning titles everywhere he freaking went. Goes to WWE, doesn't win shit.
And that's
where I find that Ahmed Johnson's point there is valid. So I agree with him there.
Because think about it, because the WWE had some very entertaining African American wrestlers throughout.
Oh, they did. They did.
And now, yes, I've seen some matches where Ahmed Johnson was a little bit stiff in the rings, you're
going a little bit, but here's the thing: you're in a match. You have all this endurance. You have all this, and you're going like a mile a minute.
Yeah,
so it's like you can afford one accidental stiff shot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and most of, like I said, I think most of the nation, like going back to his issues with the nation domination. I actually never really would have never known that he had to get issue with the nation of domination. That's the thing that still boggles my mind. Like how bad he had to.
I feel like that's the reason why he backed out last minute of being in the nation of domination, because he had issues with Ron Simmons.
Because I think this is
This was 97.
So this is when The Rock had that heel his
yeah. If Ahmed Johnson were to join that group, Brock would have never turned heel.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very good point. And we don't really get The Rock. We know we love it. We wouldn't get
The Rock that we know today. Like that's crazy to think that. There's an alternate timeline somewhere in the ether where Ahmed is in the nation and Rock is still a babyface.
But Shawn Michaels in the Clay, I could definitely see his argument there. Because I feel
I can definitely see Ahmed's argument there, because that's an issue that WWE still has today.
Yeah, because it's like they want to pretty much run the entire fucking run the show, because they think they're better than anybody else. Now, yes, I know Shawn Michaels in the 90s, people, and there's been stories.
Shawn Michaels in the 90s was just a dickhead.
Exactly. And he was
nowadays he appreciates the business. He appreciates,
like, he actually matured over the years.
He matured over time. But back in the 90s, he was a
cocky bastard.
He was cocky. He didn't like he had that whole beef with Bret Hart.
For whatever reason. Yeah.
He had Bret not wanting to lose to Shawn not wanting to lose to Bret, and they were butting heads. I'm like, what in the hell?
This was the time when Bret Hart actually left the company for WCW, if I remember correctly.
Because Vince got sick of the shit. And I can see why. And I can see why Vince did what he did, because he was sick of the shit. Like, y'all are bigger than like kids.
Yeah, even though I know as much as we hate Vince, but there are times
he made the right. Honestly, I think he made the right call. Doing what he did.
Even though it's ironic as
it's like y'all are bitching and complaining like kids. You're bickering. Like, there's got to be a way to stop. Oh wait, you're leaving the company anyway. I'm just gonna
or
turn heel and screw you over.
and not just that too. And Bret Hart, I think the following either Raw or Smack, I think it was the following show after that had been what SummerSlam. What was that? Had to been no.
What the Montreal thing?
I think that was that SummerSlam.
No.
God, what the fuck?
No, that was Survivor Series, I think.
Survivor Series, that's what it was. And the fact that I think it was the either Raw. No, SmackDown was never a thing back then.
No, SmackDown wasn't a thing until '99. It was only Raw.
So the following Raw, yeah, he went on a promo type of tirade in front of Vince, like literally. Like the dude dropped.
He had the dude. But no, that was before that. That was before the whole thing. That was like the very beginning of him. That was the very beginning of him,
leaving.
Like wanting to leave because he had issues with Shawn and Vince was like not wanting him to drop the belt in his home country, which whatever.
It's at
that point you kind of have to side with Vince and that, like, dude. You're leaving the company anyway. Just drop the belt.
It's not that hard. But
dude, I don't care if you don't like Shawn. Just drop the fucking belt. You're not going to work for the company.
So Vince said, said, fuck it. I'll just do it myself.
I'll do it my damn self. Ring the bell.
And the infamous Montreal Screwjob was born. As much as now we look back on it, we want to hate Vince for that, but you have to look at it from a different perspective. Like, you have two guys that
are bickering like kids.
I think Shawn had to been if I had to put a guess, probably his early to mid 20s, and Bret Hart had
around that time. This was again around 96, 97. So and when Shawn came back, he was like, I think
early to mid 30s, since I think
30. He was pushing 30. I think he was pushing in his 30s. Into he was pushing mid 30s.
Okay, yeah. And I'm thinking, and when you look back at it, and no, yes, both Shawn and Bret made it up, because I think they said, screw it, let's just bury the hatchet, because it's like,
dude, he showed up in 2010, early 2010, before Shawn had to retire, or he actually showed up during the retirement of Shawn.
Yeah,
he walked up to him. He walked up to him, gave him a hug, like, yo, let me bury the hatchet.
And I think they've been friends ever since.
They've been fine ever since. Yeah, they've been fine ever since. Let me
share the hatchet on a couple of occasions. Once with Shawn, I think it was he did with also Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon also him and Vince McMahon butt headed too. I think there was been.
Yeah, that was when he came back in 2010. The first hatchet he buried was with Vince, because Vince wouldn't allow him to even show up for years.
Yeah, because they were so on. Even all being on sour terms.
Bad terms.
Like that.
Vince said, "You ain't allowed on my shows."
Yeah,
And then he came back, and then Bret came back in 2010, became a competitor for a little bit. Then which that was a shit run. I hated that run.
Yeah.
You were way past your fucking prime, bro. Like, retire completely. But he came back and it was like a surprise, and everybody popped for it because you had the whole Shawn Michaels retirement ceremony and shit. Every wrestler came out that worked with the guy, and then you hear Bret's theme, and the crowd goes ape shit. He comes out, and then it was Bret and Shawn face to face. They look like they're about to fight, and then he goes, "Yo, I'm sorry about everything," and they hugged.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I know it took a while for them to finally bury the hatchet, but
it took them 2 decades.
Yeah, it's like people don't really understand like how bad this you said, it's not storylines, but this was a legitimate beef that these two had with each other. I don't know what how this all stepped. No, actually, I'm a fucking idiot.
It was just politicking. It was politicking because it was just one didn't want to beat the other, or one didn't want to lose to the other didn't want to lose to the other. Like, it was just they didn't want to lose to each other, and they just fought about it. It got too competitive to where they hated each other. And then they're like, "Yo, we were stupid. Let's just be friends now. Like, we were stupid.
Absolutely. And
And
obviously,
and they got a reason why to bury it. They got about a reason why they buried the hatchet. They were young and stupid back in the day.
yeah, I mean, now it's just like, yeah, I mean, look, you saw Sean over like the mature over the years. Obviously, and you also think too, like Sean also had a drug problem. I think so at that time.
Yeah, he had a new drug problem in the entire 90s.
Was that coming off the back injury that kind of really started, or that was because I feel like that was kind of felt like it was like prior to that.
It was before the back injury, but he realized. But after the back injury, it got worse, and Sean himself said, "Oh shit, I need to go to rehab. I need to get help." And then he completely changed his life after that.
And it's crazy, and like I said, if you want to find religion, look, that's up to you. The fact that he did that, and and got and stayed away from the nasty habits that is drug use, alcohol, tobacco, whatever.
Awesome.
It's phenomenal. Bro. And yes, I mean, even though, and let's be real, I mean, I think when he was 2010s, he had to be somewhere in
2010s, he was pushing like in his 40s. Like, he was in
40s, like I think mid to late 40s, almost before he was reaching 50. So
he was in his early 40s, early to mid 40s at the time. So yeah, he 2010, he finally said, "I'm done." He was done.
I mean, after putting on a really fantastic match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, which I still think that
he ended off on two bangers, 25 and 26. 25 was, it wasn't the career ender, but 26 was.
Yeah. I think he also had a really nice match against Rick.
Because remember, 25 was when Undertaker dove and almost killed a goddamn cameraman.
Yeah, that was when actually Undertaker could pull that off, and at that time. Yeah. But it's kind of crazy now, like how much older we've gotten since then. The Undertaker can't be what he want. And it's,
and again, when he retired at a Survivor Series, I was a blubbering mess.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to what we were talking about before, though.
I think with Ahmed, I mean, go back to the thing what we talked about with Ahmed, and yes, we do see the valid argument he had with Shawn Michaels and the Clique back in the late 90s. And like we mentioned before, like that's a big what if moment. That's kind of like basically like an alternate universe. Like what could have been if the Nation of Domination had Ahmed Johnson, and The Rock would just be forgotten. That's
exactly.
the craziest shit you have to think. It's like the biggest.
Yeah, now you realize there's a whole different timeline that could have happened. Yeah, and it's crazy.
And the history would not be the same as it is now. The Rock being a movie star.
It would have been altered for sure. Stone Cold would have still been a star, but there would be no Rock. There would be no
Rock and Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
None of that would have happened. But anyway, though. But anyway, I want to my final thought on the Ahmed thing. Again, my take is I don't know his issues with him and Ron Simmons. I don't know what that's.
I would never understand that, and the rest of the Nation of Domination.
I don't understand what happened there. But with him having beef with the Clique and him having beef with the company for, not pushing a black champion,
I can see that being
a black world champion.
Argument.
I completely understand that. Because they have problems with that now.
Yeah, it's like it feels like they have never changed since then.
And people were like, and I know people will be like, but Kofi was a champion.
But
Big E was a champion. No, hold on. Let me finish. You had Kofi as a champion. You had Big E as a champion. Yes, Kofi's run was actually pretty decent. I will give WWE that. It was pretty decent. But you shafted him at the end. Having a white man, Brock Lesnar, spear him, having Kofi lose in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then You completely shafted Big E's run because that run sucked.
Yeah, and that's
And it's no fault to Big E. You wrote it poorly because you did not want a black world champion. That's a problem that WWE still has. And Ahmed Johnson has a valid reason. Complete valid reason.
I mean, it's
and
kind
I
of crazy.
totally agree with that reason.
It's kind of crazy that when you look back, it's almost over 20 years ago. He had issues with that, and it's been almost what
it's been what, like
almost
he's
20
been
years.
Last time he was with the company was what, 26, 27 years ago?
Something like that, between between
96, 97.
Yeah, somewhere around there before I
It was around
came into existence.
26 to 27 years ago, 26, 27 years later, and WWE still has that same problem.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's an issue.
It's a huge issue. And not just from the black champion perspective, but yeah, you still have issues with people like the Click still running, in the company. Look, I don't hate Triple H, even though, yes, I mean, as a wrestler, I know there's probably stories of him being a complete fucking asshole. And then the late 90s.
That was back in the day when he was young and stupid. Same thing with Sean. He was young and stupid then. But yes, the Click runs the show. I get that, but they're not out there being racist.
Oh, absolutely not.
They're not out there saying, "Oh, he can't." You know who it is? It's Vince.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Triple H is the one who actually put. No, this is. I think he was still actually. I actually think he pulled the trigger on Kofi. If I remember correctly.
No, he didn't. He didn't pull the trigger on Kofi.
Who did?
Because remember, Triple H didn't start writing stories for the company until 2021. This was way back in 2019.
Damn.
When Vince was still running the damn show.
And
it's all Vince, man. It's all Vince. Vince is the one who's doing this racial shit.
And the fact
and Ahmed Johnson called it out.
Yeah, almost 3 decades ago, which is crazy to fucking believe that.
3 decades ago this happened, right? 3 decades later, it's still happening. How?
Yeah, and this company.
Same thing with the whole gay champion thing. Right? The one gay here's the one thing.
Oh,
do you know how far gay champions go, or gay people go in WWE?
Yeah, not long.
Dude. You had Darren Young and
Pat Patterson.
Titus O'Neil. No, it wasn't Pat Patterson. That was friggin' what's his friggin' face, but that's a different thing. No, you had Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, the primetime players. They're tag champs. Now you got Sonya Deville or Chelsea Green. Tag champs. What does that tell you? They only go as far as tag champs.
Yeah, which is, and you see Fred Rosser now just killing it.
Dude, nowadays. Fred Rosser, man. Yo,
did he find a new lease on life.
Bro, he works hell. Dude, do you know how hard he fucking works in the gym?
Dude, he's like a gym rat. He's a gym rat.
Bro,
from what I've seen.
Let me tell you how. Dude, I saw videos before where he works out so hard where he has to puke after. Because he worked so hard in the gym.
And honestly,
like, this man has a never say freaking die attitude with that shit.
No, especially for the dude. Yeah, and it's not just that too. I mean, look how far has Japanese wrestlers has come along since then. I mean, but outside of the Great Muta that came in a bit, that had, but I've been the mid to late 90s. I have to assume
it's early to late 90s.
And then you had really not much, outside of.
Bro.
I got to think of the Attitude Era. Who was
Tajiri?
No, I think Tajiri's more. Like, did he really come to the? No, I thought that was more Ruthless Aggression with Tajiri.
No, he came in Attitude Era. That was like right after WCW. That was right after WCW and ECW got bought out. I was like at the tail end of it.
Right. Okay. it's a Jerry, and then you have guys.
That racist ass Kai and Tai. Fucking racist.
Oh, I do not remember him.
That's a tag team. That's a tag team.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That's freaking what's his face? Freaking Funaki and Michinoku.
Oh yeah, both look like complete fucking idiots.
Oh my god, they had them freaking. It's like they had them do like this whole thing where it looks like a freaking English dub of a Japanese movie.
I was like, why?
I'm like, what in the fucking racist shit is this?
Like it's crazy, like how much some of these like different like these minorities,
And also, do you know how they're booking? Do you know how they're booking Akira Tozawa now? That's initially how they booked Tajiri. That's just doing comedy shit.
Even though Tajiri was actually not that bad of a wrestler, the fact that you made him look like a joke is beyond me.
Yeah, they finally got him together. They finally had kind of proper booking when they brought back the cruiserweight division in 2002, which was pretty cool. They kind of rectified that, and then right after he went to Raw, he was a joke again. Like, what the hell?
And then comes back on 205 Live and just
he was there for like a month.
Never to be seen again. And
bro, like, he was there for a month. He saw the writing on the wall and left.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go through it a second time. So I say, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out. And that's the thing
after a month.
And I don't even know what he's doing nowadays. You know.
Oh, I think he works for All Japan now.
Right, shit. Plus, I mean, shit. You also have one appearance from the Japanese legend himself, and Jushin Thunder Liger. Yeah, put in a match that it was against a guy like Tyler Breeze. Really, it's like it wasn't really too much, but it's someone who actually loved watching Jushin Thunder Liger in WCW. You know, that made me happy a little bit. But
the thing is, he wasn't going to sign with the company. It was just a special appearance and a special.
Oh yes, it's still, man. It's still nostalgia for me.
It wasn't. No, I'm talking about you. It seems to me that you were just saying that we screwed him, but no, it was just a special appearance and a special match. I don't think they were like exactly screwing him. I feel like they were. It was just something special.
It's crazy, like we said, for our viewers out there who are passionate wrestling fans as us, like how much this business has come, you know, especially in terms of the minorities. You know, that's if you're Black, Asian, and definitely the Hispanic, the Latino wrestlers have come a long way since then as well.
Bro, if Lucha Libre didn't get as big as it did, he wouldn't even be seeing a Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, Santos Escobar. Who else?
The rest, I think, Cruz del Toro.
Cruz del Toro.
Why?
The other guy, he wasn't even a Lucha brother. He was just a random dude from Impact. I don't even know why he's even in that movie. I don't even think he's even Latin. I think he's like Filipino or something.
I don't know. And you also had I'm trying to think of the other notable names. I mean, shit, you want to see Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, Commander, Rouge.
None of
the list could go on and on and on. Hell, even Vic Kingo, you won't even see his ass.
Nope.
Like, it's crazy. Like you have to put this into perspective, because this is our one final thought. Like, you know, like I said, the minority group as a whole, whether if it's African American, Asians, the LGBT group, which has come a long way since, you know, since then. In terms of
there's been a few. This is why I liked AEW so much, is because they got people like Sonny Kiss, who's a gay man. They got a woman like Nyla Rose, who's a transgender woman. They're a part of that. They're a part of that group.
And it's a diverse culture over there.
You have one half of the hottest tag team in AEW, the Acclaim. One of those members are gay.
And don't hit Harley Cameron. We're looking at you again,
Harley. Don't you dare hit on him again. That man is gay.
Oh, and another thing I forgot. I think we forgot to bring this up. You know, for our final thought. Billy Gunn removing his
Dude,
boots.
I can't believe you didn't even mention that. What the I was in absolute shock, bro.
Because it's like,
dude, we looked at each other. We looked at each other on stream, and
like,
we were like, what just happened? And you literally just looked at me and went, I don't know. Like, did he just retire?
Like, we didn't even hear like no reports about him teasing retirement.
No. Usually you hear a report like there's a rumored retirement, and you're ready for it. We weren't even prepared.
Or there's sometimes you see wrestlers actually be very cryptic on social media about teasing retirement. Billy Gunn was just quiet.
He just did. No. All you heard from him was crickets leading up to this. Crickets.
And the fact that he did that on Collision, that's past Saturday nights, like, I'm thinking to myself, man, I think he might be done, or he might.
And the thing is, what wasn't he claimed on Dynamite last week?
Oh, I think so as well.
No mention of Billy Gunn.
No
mention of him at all. So I think I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening with him. And
we're gonna have to wait until find out this Saturday night on Collision, because
we probably won't find out on Collision either. I thought we were gonna find out on Dynamite. We didn't find out there.
No,
that's and the thing is, they brought it up. I mean, they did bring it up on Dynamite. So I kind of figured that maybe it's like, okay, he retired, let's move on. Which I can respect that. He wants a quiet retirement.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's been going at it since the early 90s.
Since 89. 89.
Like you said, he didn't get his big break to the early 90s.
No, he didn't get his big break till like 95.
Yeah, 90. Before the Attitude Era was a thing.
Even though he was in that tag. I think he was in that tag team with his brother, I think, or somebody.
Or I don't know, but
they were like Cowboys or some shit. But
and that's another thing too that I'm always grateful for. Who's actually respected? Who actually watched the Attitude Era? I don't think like Billy Gunn was never my like number one favorite, but he was actually kind of really fun to watch back then. It's just like to see him.
He had his moments. He had his moments there.
Him and Chuck. The fact he pulled off a guy pulling off a choker in the 90s was something else.
And also, why did WWE give him a gimmick to where he was infatuated with his ass?
I don't know, but let's be real. And the fact that he was also he was
infatuated with ass. He called himself Mr. Ass.
I'm an ass man. Skewedy body that. Oh, I don't know how them. But regardless,
did you just bop that? What the hell?
I don't remember how the song goes, because I remember we did it one stream.
Yes, Rob. It was a jazz number.
But the thing of what I liked about Billy Gunn too was him and the Road Dogg as New Age Outlaws. Let's be real, probably one of the let's be real. If you're talking about the top tier WWE tag teams, they're gonna have to be right up there in terms of with the Hardys, Edge and Creation, the Dudley Boys, the Legion of Doom. Yes, I am putting the New Age Outlaws up there because I think they're well deserved up there. I mean, they've done
and then they had that. Then they had that run in 2014 too.
Oh, that was great.
That was a great run. That was a great run there.
And the fact that Road Dogg still has it, even though yes, I know he can't do it as like he used to anymore, but back in 2014, like he still had it, like he had it in the 90s. Even though now it is kind of weird to see him with a white man with cornrows. I will say that was a little bit weird for me. Look, when I rewatched the Attitude Era,
the guy was full on ghetto too, because it was like cornrows and shit. I'm like, or he was like full on into that rapper style.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say ghetto. That's kind of rude, but he was in that rapper style with the cornrows and everything.
Yeah,
and plus and then eventually when they disbanded from that, he teamed with R-Truth.
I completely forgot about that.
R-Truth was in a different name. He had a different name.
Wrong Killings, I think it was, or
no, it wasn't. It was K-Quick.
Who?
In the 90s. K-Quick, bro. That was That was R-Truth's first name back in like the early 2000s.
I remember him as Ron the Truth Killings in the early days of Impact, TNA Impact.
But yeah, he had another run.
Think about that.
Yo, R-Truth had a run way back in the day, bro.
It is crazy like how far R-Truth has come along since then. And even though he is what 50, 51, something like that, the fact he had a long career as long as it did. Even though
he left WWE, he went to TNA, had that run, came back to WWE, had another pretty good run. He was content with being a comedy character, which we love him for because he's pretty freaking funny.
He actually made it work for whatever
he made
reason.
It work. He was funny. We love him for it. Keep that humor. Keep that humor itself, R-Truth. We love you for it.
He's what, like a 19-time 24/7 champion or something? Or how did he say it?
No, he was like, I'm a 19-time 24/7 7-Eleven I-95.
And yes, for those who are wondering, yes, I kept count of his title reigns. For what I don't know why I ever thought of doing that.
You started. I'm like, how many reigns did he got? And you literally flat out said with confidence 24. I'm like, how the hell do you count that much?
I don't know. I think after 24, I got lost.
Yeah, it was like after 24, you're like, I was like, how many reigns did he get this time? You're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, you really stopped counting? You're like, yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I don't know how the hell you were committed for the first 24 reigns, and like the last 5, you weren't.
Sometimes I thought, and the thing too with R-Truth is, his heel work sometimes it doesn't really go unappreciated at times.
No, I remember he was so freaking cold that he took a fan's cigarette.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Would have been what
2011.
Oh yeah, it was him and the Miz, if I remember correctly, before they get.
No, it was before him and Miz. It was when he was feuding with John Cena for WWE title.
Oh wow, that's crazy to think about. R-Truth feuding for the world title. Whoever thought would that have been possible?
That back in the day, it was, man. Back in the day, because back in the 2009
is it the same year you brought that little
hold on. From 2009 to maybe about 2016, they were high on Truth. They were high on Truth, and then then he said, "I just want to be a comedy character," and they were like, We'll try to make that work, but I don't know if it's going to work." And
boy, did he make that work! And
I know at that point he was going after a jobber title, but he was prominently used on TV, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, the dude, he was, and he's still over by fans as funny as a comedy character as he was.
I remember one time it made me freaking laugh when he had the 24/7 title. He hid under the ring, and he hid under a table, and someone grabbed the table, didn't see him.
Oh yeah, but
it was funny as hell.
Isn't 2011 Truth that that's the same year he busted out little Jimmy? Or something like that, that little Jimmy skit or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was when he went stir crazy. He got to that crazy gimmick, and that was when he started doing the comedy shit. Was when he turned heel, and he busted out the imaginary friend, little Jimmy.
And the fact that got over with a lot of people, that was impressive. The fact that he got that.
I love that segment with Triple H, and Triple H was like acting like he was talking to him, and Archie goes, "You're crazy, man." Oh shit!
But yeah,
he was like, he looks at him after Triple H is talking to like nobody, and he looks at him and goes, "Well, he's trying to act like he's talking to little Jimmy, right?" And R-Truth goes, "You're crazy, man." Like, what the fuck? You proved his own point.
Or the fact that sometimes he pops into. Or the fact that what was it? He brought. I think there was like one episode of Raw. He brought the ladder and said, think he was like there was a Money in the Bank briefcase that's not even there. It's like you're not even.
No, you didn't know. No, you know what that was? You know what that was? It was in 2016. It was like right before the Royal Rumble, and it wasn't even for Money in the Bank. It was for the Royal Rumble. That's the funny part. and he comes out. He takes out the damn ladder, puts it in the ring. He climbs the ladder and he goes, And somebody went, it's the Royal Rumble, not Money in the Bank. And he goes, my bad.
Like, or the fact that I think it was one role he said, or it's like he was cutting a promo about being in the Royal Rumble, and Kane says, "You're not even in the match." It's like, oh,
and then he just stands there like,
my bad.
Like he stands there awkwardly and he goes, my bad, and he just runs off.
Like, that's kind of most of us used to feel like that, and boy, I mean, I will say, R-Truth has given us. That's pretty. Yeah,
you know what the funny? Do you know what the funny R-Truth moment was? It was when he interfered a segment with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman.
Oh,
and he declared that Paul Heyman was in the Royal Rumble match, and he freaking made Brock Lesnar break out laughing.
Oh yeah, when he broke character.
He broke Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar was just cracking.
I think that's the thing too, when you have guys like R-Truth, Santino Marella, who for me, I think him and shut your mouth, John Cena. That's like, and the fact,
you know. Also, I like. He was like Kelly.
Or the fact he tried to pull it, or not just that, or when Santino tried to pull a split like Melina did.
He's shaking his leg. He's on the ground.
It's funny when we first got to know Santino, he was just a fan of the stands, and in fact, he won the
IC belt. And here's the thing: he successfully got Melina to break because she was cracking after he did that shit.
I know I would just like say, but that being said, boy, not another good show.
Oh man. I know we got off the beaten path, but we gave you some quality today, guys. I hope it was quality for you guys. I hope it was
that's
quality.
Kind of the fun of the show when we get off the beaten path. That's still wrestling related.
Yeah, it's fun, to do that, and that's what I love about these shows. Like before, it was heavily scripted by me because I couldn't speak.
And sometimes
without
by me as well.
But now,
like we
all of our shows are basically all of our shows are basically like,
and I can just pull up topics just right off of my
computer.
Yeah,
you can pull up on this computer, but here's the thing: a lot of the times we don't have a script. We just have a topic to go off of, and we just branch off of it, and then we come back to it, and sometimes we don't branch off of it, and we just forget about it. And the thing is, though, man, we are completely unscripted, unfiltered. We're not heavily scripted. We're not reading off of paper anymore. We've learned to grow off of that. It's a lot of fun. We're just shooting the shit about wrestling, talking about different topics without a script. That's and also it's fun. Like people like John L. giving us topics to talk about.
And there's been
we initially weren't even talking about different things like the airport thing. That wasn't initially on the cards. Also, all the other stuff wasn't initially on the cards. And also Arkham Raider, thank you. We are doing good. We're never better. But anyway, that's always fun. It's always fun to hang out with you guys.
We talked about stuff that we talked about some of the time periods that we weren't even around for, like the steroid scandal, which John has brought up, I think countless times in the chat.
We were talking about the second scandal with Mr. Kennedy, though.
Yeah,
but
and
that was our era. We did touch before on other shows. You can rewatch those episodes.
Much in depth in certain situations where, where
we love this stuff. We love this stuff, and here's the thing. I'd love to go back into history before I was born. Like I could sit there and watch 90s Raw or 90s whatever SmackDown or
watch the original ECW where shit was just crazy.
Or watch the original ECW from the mid 90s.
Yeah, don't be like me. Don't be like me.
Or watch the 1980s, wrestling.
Yeah, the golden era, or WCW in the mid 90s.
oh yeah, we're WCW in the early 90s or the 80s. Like we'll watch. Like we don't mind doing that. We don't mind giving ourselves a history lesson because we love wrestling.
And speaking of which, we're definitely going to bring that back, the retro watch along. So we
and where we left off was the Raw after the. I think it was either the SmackDown. It was the SmackDown. It's the second episode of SmackDown. I forgot. I remember the Monday Night Raw before that. Michael Cole unintentionally got himself completely brutalized.
Oh yeah,
crazy, because you had a brawl going on and he was in the middle of it and he gets knocked down unintentionally. But yeah,
and that's another guy I truly respect. The fact that Michael Cole has been with this company for years. You gotta give. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Let's give him his flowers, man. He's been in the business for a while.
Yes, he had to get the short out of the stick by Vince McMahon. Even though he has talked about it in a couple of interviews. Yeah, he got yelled at Vince on more than one occasion. I was like, man, I feel even bad for him.
But anyway, we are going to be bringing back the retro watch alongs,
and obviously first of all introducing Tyler to the original Attitude Era, which is something I remember growing up as a kid. And
I'm a Ruthless Aggression Era guy.
Yeah, he got the watered down bullshit.
I got it wasn't really completely watered down. It was substantially watered down from when I saw, watching the 90s stuff. Like, it was substantially watered down. But it was still pretty edgy. It was still pretty edgy.
And that's the thing too that me and Tyler, we joke with each other because we got to see he and I got to see the NWO. For me, I got to see them at their peak. Well, I
saw them at the downfall.
Yeah, they're pretty much the watered down
WWE bullshit. Where they put Shawn Michaels in there for some reason, Big Show for some reason, and whatever for some reason.
Maybe we could try to do it this Sunday. Maybe Sunday night.
Sunday night SmackDown.
After all the ladies. Probably around 7, 8 o'clock.
I don't know, man, because I don't think two streams is going to be pushing it.
Well, maybe we could probably do it Tuesday. No, wait, we can do it Tuesday. We ain't doing fucking NXT.
We already agreed on Tuesday.
Oh, we did?
That's
I
fine.
completely forgot.
That's fine. We already agreed on Tuesday.
I'm an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot. You just forgot. It doesn't make you an idiot.
It does.
Stop, bro.
It does make me look an idiot sometimes.
Stop. No, it doesn't. Stop.
Well, when you poke fun of me for saying turnbuckle pad, said turn pad.
Bro, you had a dyslexic moment. I even have those.
Yeah, you would never let. Oh yeah, you would never let me let that down. But yeah, so
bro, you didn't, bro. I nearly forgot about it until you freaking mentioned it earlier. Okay.
So. Well, actually, I will definitely check. And also, too, a reminder, if you guys want to do a retro watch along, I highly recommend doing. If you want to do Thunder, go ahead. Thunder was not the greatest when I watched it from start to finish. And do not binge watch 2006 ECW. Do not put yourself through.
Don't subject yourself to that torture, please. Don't do it.
All right.
Don't dare do it. We did it as kids. And I tried watching it. I watched it earlier.
We're on the second episode of SmackDown. Is that correct?
We're on the second episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, September 2nd, 1999. That's where we're at right now.
Yep, September 2nd, 1999.
And Raw, that had to be
a week prior.
So, because that's also it's November. Oh, hang on, November, October. Okay, now we gotta go down. So 7. What's 9 plus 7?
I gotta use my fucking.
Let's see. 9 plus 9 is 18. That's the 17th. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 17th.
Because right now we stopped at the very first. Hang on, because we're in 19.
We're 99.
What was the first episode of Raw in 1999? I am losing.
First episode of Raw in 99? No.
No, like when was the first episode of Raw in 1999?
First episode of Raw, January.
Oh boy,
Because remember, Raw started in '93. There was
right.
no there was no first episode of Raw. We were already well into
Oh,
Raw.
I'm an idiot. Oh, why did I even ask that question?
Remember, we watched that episode and it sucked.
I forgot what date that was.
Somewhere in '93, but it's
No, because I know we're in 99.
199. Wait, you trying to talk about the week prior?
Because right now we started that we opened up the retro watch along with the very first episode of SmackDown, and that was because I needed. Oh, fucking hell! I did not mean to press that. No, about the damn soccer. No. God damn! I hate fat fingering. I hate fat fingering my damn phone.
Bro, it happens to me too, bro. I hate that so much.
So August 20th. So, okay, so August 26th. So, and Raw had to be with the week prior, so that had to been. So August.
No, we didn't watch the Raw prior. We watched the SmackDown and then after.
Yeah, I'm saying, we opened up with SmackDown. The next was Monday Night Raw.
So 26th. So the 26th. So 7 days. It was September. So in September 26th was SmackDown, right?
August
26th. So we started in early September. Wait, Raw.
Actually, I could just check the studio, the YouTube studio. I didn't think about that.
I didn't even think about that either. We're both looking like idiots right now. God damn it.
Okay, so last one we did was May 8th. Boy, we held that off.
May 8th. May 8th.
The last time we did one was So the last retro Raw stream we did was 2 months ago. Oh Jesus. So okay.
No, but what was the date of the actual episode?
I don't know. I just put Raw as War 99 watch party.
God damn it! Now we gotta scroll through the shit and.
Okay, so
I'm gonna look at Peacock on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So I can figure out where the hell we're at.
Hold the hell on, brother.
So we opened up with SmackDown on August 26, 1999, and the following it was. Wait, no, SmackDown was on. Oh, that's right. SmackDown was on a Thursday. That's what.
It was on Thursdays at the time, but I'm not looking for the day of the week. I'm just looking for the date.
So
hold on, I'm looking right now. So, all right. So we're on the second episode of SmackDown. We watched the Raw. All right, let's go to.
It's because right now the second episode is September 2nd for SmackDown.
Hold on. I'm trying to look. Where the hell was TV shows? I hate that new update. Okay.
Oh wait.
Hold on. I'm looking, bro. All right. So we're season 1 of WWE.
You have to go season 7 because we're traveling to 1999.
No, it's season 1 of SmackDown.
Oh right.
Dude, what? Your brain is off today, bro.
Hey, it's the fucking heat.
I don't know, bro.
That's right. I found it.
It was August 26th for SmackDown, and then let me look at Raw. Hold on.
August 30th. It was the 4 days later. That's.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you right? Hold on. I'm gonna check and see if you're right here. All right. So it's season 7 for Raw. Yes. All right. So it is the. Is it September 27th? Oh no, it's September. Oh, it is August 30th.
Yeah,
All right.
season 7, episode 35. I mean, we count.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Hold on. We can't watch Raw yet after SmackDown. Because we gotta watch 1999 SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We gotta watch that because it says the episode. Or wait, no. Oh yeah, wait. Did we watch the Fallout from SummerSlam?
We did
Oh
not.
no, we completely skipped it. So yes, we have to watch August 30th.
Yeah, we missed out on some. We skipped
We missed out
SummerSlam.
on SummerSlam.
So it was
All right.
August 30th. So the next
we watched
episode of Raw
We'll be-
after we do SmackDown is September 6th. So Raw and SmackDown
Hold
are
on,
4
I
days
gotta write.
apart.
No, I gotta write this shit down. All right.
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna write the schedule. I'm gonna write the scheduling down. So what day do you want to watch? We're gonna do SmackDown on Tuesday.
SmackDown on Tuesday.
SmackDown.
Raw. I had to see what the rest of my schedule's looking like because obviously, well, actually, we could probably do We could actually, you know what? We could probably do SmackDown tomorrow. No, that's right. We're doing Collision. I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, we're doing it on Tuesday. I already written it down.
Tuesday.
All right. So the second episode of the watch along. Second will be August 30th.
No,
Right.
that'll be September 2nd for SmackDown.
Oh, what am I doing? My brain.
You're having a fucking brain meltdown.
So it's September 2nd, right?
Raw was the 30th.
So that's September 2nd, right?
Yes.
All right, September 2nd.
And I'll have to get back to you on the date for Raw.
I'll put Raw TBD or to be decided.
Yeah, and then we'll figure out a date from there.
We'll do the second episode of Raw will be August 30th. The August 30th episode.
Nope, September 6th.
No. August 30th. Wait, what? Dude,
September 6th is second.
Did we watch August 30th?
Yes, that was the first one. Because remember, we skipped the entire story, build up to that 1999 SummerSlam.
Okay, so it is September 6th. Okay, September 6th.
Oh, my Lord.
I went backwards there. I thought we missed this, the August 30th. But
yes.
So we got that one down. So when I remember what episodes we watched there, I'll write down the rest of them. Yeah, and then we'll go from there.
Have to forget because holy shit!
So we don't forget what. Yeah, because I am not going to sit there and just scroll through
where the fuck we left off. But
I hate that. Even when I'm binging a show, I hate doing that.
But yeah, but with that being said, like I said, we'll be back at it again with Tuesday with the retro watch along, for Thursday night SmackDown, not Friday night. For those who remember growing up in the late '90s.
No, I don't think it's making us delusional. I think it's just making our brains turn off.
It is making me delusional because shit, can't be thinking straight anyway. So, that being said, guys, like I said,
maybe we are going delusional. I think we are going delusional.
I mean,
but
it was like 90, almost 100 degrees today. So,
I'm gonna tell you what it is here. But it feels hotter in my room. It's 72 here. It feels hotter in my room. So my door.
That's right. And then tomorrow night we'll be back at it again with current day Friday night SmackDown.
Yep.
And we'll see. Like I said, the date for the Raw Retro Watch Along. Like I said, that's going to be to be determined. What we'll definitely have to talk to get. Definitely let Tyler know about that. Because like I said, we held that off for a long time. Actually, it's been 2 months. The fact we held that off for 2 months is it doesn't really feel like it. Like an attorney. But regardless, though.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. It doesn't.
Steve said it's 84 down in Denver.
Damn, that's like Midwest. That's like what, dry heat? Oh my God.
Something like that. I don't know.
Dry heat and high altitude. Good God.
That's a horrible combination.
That's a terrible combination.
But regardless, though, I hope everyone has enjoyed this. First time actually doing a 3-hour show. Because, like I said, we try to fill it as much as we can.
Yeah, we try to fill it in as much as we
like
can.
you said, we don't really.
And I feel like we rambled for like a good 20 minutes.
Hey,
but anyway, yeah, we're gonna be back with the watch along. My boy is taking me back. My boy has successfully taken me back in time to the Attitude Era.
And
see how crazy that shit was.
And boy, it was when we first did our first retro watch along, and because funny enough, and before we get out of here, the funny story, because we did this once before, but we did was like quote unquote recollection, but we didn't really did like a. And then my buddy Tino, who
he's not in Denver, he's in Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, that's worse,
bro. That's South. Heat, don't mix. No.
Well, sorry, Steve, but when it's from take it.
At least it's 84 and not 100. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, but like I said, the kind of the origins of I guess you could say this kind of like a rejuvenation of this retro watch party, because like I said, we did this as like a retro collection series, and let's bro, that really didn't do too well.
That name stuff. Yeah, I think it was the name.
We scrapped that.
We scrapped it, but then let me tell you something. We tried to do Lucha Underground, and Tubi took it off, and I'm pissed.
I was like, "Fuck!" That'd be.
We're in the middle of the series here, and we took it off.
But yeah. I was like, man.
But here's the thing. I got screwed twice with this show. Netflix had the shit. They took it off. I'm like, mother. Then you told me Tubi had it. I started watching it. A week later, they took it off there. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then once I found out, and I found, this is not really my original idea, but I actually because I talked to Tino about my buddy Tino, who's another fellow wrestling fan as well. He does this all the time. And I think to myself, why the hell can we do that? Because it'll be an interesting, it would be a different look for us. Yes, we see.
There's a person that I watch right on TikTok and Twitch. You know who Wheezy Blonde is, right? Wheezy Blonde, TikTok.
Oh,
wrestling TikToker.
Oh, Wheezy's not blind.
Wheezy Blonde.
Oh yeah, exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, well, yeah, she does this whole thing where she covers what she missed and streams them. Like she was saying that she was saying that she doesn't she hasn't watched prior to her returning to watching wrestling. She hadn't watched WWE since 2006. Oh, and she was watching everything from what she missed up until when she started watching.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I'm not doing that. I'm kind of like doing a different thing where it's like I'm watching stuff that I didn't even watch.
Yeah, you get to experience what I got a chance to see as a kid.
Like I'm expanding. I'm expanding my horizons. She expanded her horizons going forward. I'm going backwards and doing that.
Yeah, and think about it too. Like shit was. It's kind of weird that you see like different like sponsors back in the day, when the internet was still in its infancy in the late 90s. And also you had it, and also PlayStation 2 was one of the WWE's biggest sponsors. And yes, you had those sponsors of adult entertainment. We're not going to get into that. We talked about that.
I'm going to get into it. Let me get into it right quick, right? I'm going to get into it. Back in the late 90s, right? First sponsor that was adult entertainment. They signed a deal. Dude, they signed a deal with fucking Playboy to start.
Yeah.
Where they let their women's wrestlers do Playboy.
Yeah.
And then right after that, 2003. I shit you not. This is around April, so it's around spring break time. I shit you not. I'm watching a random episode of Raw, right? I'm watching this on Peacock, and I'm appalled after this, right? And and I looked this shit up, right? I looked this shit up, like on Google, what it was they're promoting, and I was floored. I was fucking floored. Yeah. I'm like, dude, they were promoting Girls Gone Wild Spring Break Special on pay-per-view.
I was like, oh.
I looked this shit up, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is literally porn.
I think, and but hey, look, like I said, sponsors back then, like, and that's the thing too with sponsors nowadays. Like back then, you can just get away with a lot of bullshit.
Bro,
You just could.
you got a lot of shit. Like, you got away with a lot of shit in the late 90s,
I
early
still
2000s.
remember when these, when they did with Playboy. Now, I'm not going to admit
But
that.
here's the thing, what was kind of bad? They did that up until the PG era.
Yeah, Steve, we had to experience the Girls Gone Wild advertisement.
Yep. We
But
did.
like I
We
said, I'm
did.
not going to.
We had to witness that advertisement plastered on Raw television
That's
and
like
SmackDown television.
what I like I said, we'll get to that because, like I said, we're taking it year by year, and also we're also doing retro pay-per-views as well. So I think we're in
What?
August because we're past SummerSlam.
I'm gonna look up the pay-per-view thing for 99. I'll look it up
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, and
So
actually break down
it'll be right after SummerSlam.
because
Pay-per-view line up.
was it? I think it would have been Survivor. I want to say Survivor Series.
1999. I'll look it up. All right. So here's the wait a minute. I could have just gone to Wikipedia. Damn it. All right. So right after SummerSlam, it is Survivor Series because they go in alphabetical order.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
They had they had one No Mercy. Never mind. Wait, No Mercy UK.
Yeah, they actually did a show in
They did 2 of them.
Apparently
Why
so.
did they do? Dude, what was the point of that? They did 2 No Mercies in '99. What the hell? Yeah, the next one will be Survivor Series, and then and then we will hit the build for Unforgiven after that.
Another
banger pay-per-view. Unforgiven 99, banger.
Oh.
And then we'll move on to WrestleMania.
Oh, don't tell me we have to go WrestleMania 2000, do we?
WrestleMania 99.
Oh, I was about to say because
I'm not looking forward to wait, no, we missed WrestleMania, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Why is it telling us in order? I want to do it in order. No, man. Oh wait, this is in order. All right, so we didn't do Royal Rumble. Backlash, no Mercy. Oh no, No Mercy was held in the UK. That's what it was.
And we also missed Halftime Heat.
We missed Halftime Heat when they did the match at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
And you know what the funny thing is? That match was more entertaining than the Super Bowl because that Super Bowl sucked. That Super Bowl sucked.
Yeah, and obviously WrestleMania XV. I was 2 years old when they held that in Philadelphia.
Yep,
And now the fact they're bringing it back in WrestleMania 40 is phenomenal,
crazy.
But it's pricey as shit.
Honestly, in honor of that, we should do a special retro and do that WrestleMania, like in 2024 when it comes to that.
You know what? I never thought of that. You know what?
We should do that. We should do that down the line. We should do that down the line. I don't think we should do it now, but we should do it when WrestleMania season comes.
So we're in August. So yeah, so we got to go through Survivor Series.
No, yeah, we gotta go through Survivor. No, do we have to go through Survivor Series?
Well, Survivor telling me next. That's in November. So we're getting to that build up to Survivor Series. That's in November. So we got to go through August, September, October.
So the next, we're doing the build for Unforgiven.
Oh,
remember, we got other pay-per-views before.
I forgot about September. Son of a bitch.
September and October, you forgot.
How the God? Oh boy.
You completely skipped over 3 pay-per-views.
We got 2 of them in the span of 15 days in 1999. Rebellion and No Mercy.
No, but Rebellion though, I think that was the England exclusive. Do they have that on Peacock? That was a England exclusive. They didn't even air that in the US. That's why it was in they don't do Rebellion in the States.
Oh, I looked up on Peacock. It's not there.
So no, so they probably they probably didn't even mention it that much. That was probably a glorified house show anyway.
Yeah, at the national it was at the National Indoor Arena. So
we can completely skip Rebellion. We can go right to No Mercy.
After that, we got Survivor Series,
and then we build up the Survivor Series, Rob. and then we go to Armageddon.
By the way,
and then unfortunately after that, we have to go through, Royal Rumble. And then unfortunately after that, we got to watch that godforsaken WrestleMania again.
We got to watch that again. We did that once before. Golly.
And we hated it. We absolutely hated it.
Even though Let's Really had some decent matches, but that show was not good at all.
Oh, that was a travesty of the show.
We have to do it. Oh, that's okay. So Rebellion is okay. So I'm looking at it through the SmackDownHotel.com.
Oh shit! Yo, you know what happened to Girls Gone Wild, bro?
I read about that.
The guys who made it literally went to jail. So they promoted a criminal activity. Plus porn.
So Rebellion it's a special event. So they never really looks like they only aired.
It was just a glorified house show that was just only aired in England.
I gotta say, Armageddon. I think if you talk about the pay-per-view that has the most underrated logo, obviously Armageddon 1999.
Bro, Armageddon, they had that logo for years, bro. That was that beginning of that logo.
And let's really go. Oh boy, 2000. Oh Lord, 2000 is gonna be a.
Bro. Can we skip WrestleMania that year, please?
I mean, we're gonna have to, Tyler. That's kind of the. So we still got to go
watch this shit.
Yeah, at the Arrow in Anaheim, California.
I hate this. And that theme is just a knockoff version of another song because the people didn't want to pay. The WWE didn't want to pay rights to that song. God damn it!
So the first pay-per-view we had to kick off for the. Oh yeah, and for those who remember Y2K, where everybody was fucking panicking that the world was going to fucking end.
Oh my god, our computer's about to explode. What?
And yet nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We went through that same shit in 2012.
Yeah, it's like the year's supposed to end in 2012.
Oh no, the Mayan calendar said today was supposed to be the end of the world, and nothing happened.
And we all knew the Mayan calendar was a full of bullshit.
It was a bunch of bullshit.
So first of all, we do. If I remember correctly, I think Royal Rumble 2000. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's when I know Kurt Angle was still there. I think this is when Taz made his debut in Madison Square Garden, if I remember that correctly. But he choked his. If that is the same Royal Rumble that Taz choked his ass out, I'm gonna be fucking happy. I'm gonna be excited because I think a lot of people don't remember how underrated Taz as a wrestler really was, and also as a color commentator has been very underrated as well. I'll leave that. But yeah, so like I said, unfortunately, if you for those who remember WrestleMania 2000, boy, we're gonna spare you the trouble and torture ourselves for your entertainment
again for a second time.
And same with WrestleMania and with Backlash to it in 2002, which actually I thought was very well done from what we did. But that being said, guys, like I said, you're gonna be filled for those nostalgia people. You're gonna be filled with that. For those who who remember the Attitude Era. Jesus Christ,
bro!
I never.
For like 20 seconds, it was just
shut up.
All you could get out of your mouth was
But yeah, what? Yeah,
I'm sorry, I had to do it. I had to rip you. Oh shit! I'm crying. Oh. The hood of shame.
The hood of shame, but regardless, though, it's going to be a lot. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun when we get this up and going again. That being said, guys, it has been the episode number 49 of the It's Real to Me podcast. But holy shit! But with that being said, guys, this has been a bit of a fun show for the last over 3.5 hours. And me and Tyler, we are out.
Peace.